Ooh, good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing? Guilty Hunkler, yes, you are early, but I appreciate you anyway, regardless. Nuki, also very early, but again, thank you very much for being here. Zol, what's up? Lavender Lady, I always love that particular Cartia dancing meme thing. Always like, yeah. Is she saying butt sucky? Butt stucky? Butt sucky is also another thing, but that's not what I'm talking about. No, she's saying chotsu matsutake. So it's like chotto and chotto matsu, chotto matte. It's like chotto as in just a little, just wait a little. But then it's playing on the words of matsu and matsutake. Matsutake is a type of mushroom, and matsu is wait. So it's chotsu matsutake. That's why she's holding these mushrooms in each hand. Well, rover shaped like mushrooms. The original one is actually mushrooms. Yeah. So that answers your questions all. I did chime in. Galbrainer drip should be dropping tomorrow. Why would it be Galbrainer drip? Shouldn't it be drip? Like it goes Augusta, then Galbrainer, right? I don't know. Evening. It's 7 a.m. It's evening for me. That's all that matters. It is so cute. Yeah, it is really cute. Mel, hello, welcome in. All right, so I'm going to be playing the 2.6 update. So I need to first explain one little thing about that. I've already pulled for Augusta and her weapon on my main account. That's the account I want to pull for her on. And in order to level her up, I proceeded through the story a little because you needed to do that in order to unlock the new region, which I don't particularly enjoy. I don't really particularly like. But I did that part. I just did the first part of the story to unlock it, but I haven't continued on anywhere since then. So I'm thinking that if you guys really, in fact, no, I will actually go to my other account because I need to unlock the area on my other account here. So I'll go to my sub account, do that part until I get to the part where I already am on my main account, switch accounts, then go over from there. Luna, you should trial version JP to hear Augusta, a certain person you'll meet. Shake my head, JP centric guy, not playing in JP. All right, I get this. I get this thrown at me a lot, and the reason why I don't play with JP voices on stream anyway is because I don't know, but like every time I've done that, everyone's always like complaining that they can't understand what's going on and they don't want to read the subtitles. And like some people say, oh, I like to listen to the live streams while I'm doing something else, and if it's all in Japanese, I can't really understand what's going on, so I prefer you to play in English. I'm like, all right, fine, that's completely fair. If the voice acting was particularly atrocious, then yeah, no, I wouldn't play it in English regardless. But thankfully, the voice acting in Wuthering Waves has been phenomenal over the past year plus or something like that, so I have had no real particular issues. That's why I play in English voiceovers for now, if that answers your question. So yeah, you're here to see my thoughts on the story because I feel like a madman for noticing some problems that nobody else does. I always notice problems as well that people don't, and I always get absolute shit for it. Right, but the thing is though, before I go into that, there's a few things I wanted to just touch on that I've noticed going on in the JP side of things. Like, right, okay, there's two things that I want to do while we're still waiting for people to jump in. First of all, there's a new interview with Kuro. I said Kuro Dev. I can't remember if it's Solon precisely or someone else. I can't remember if it actually says who it is. About Kuro Games in general, about their work on Punching Grey Raven and also in Wuthering Waves. And they also touch on a little bit about Chisa as well. So that should be interesting. And there's also this recent, if you don't know, if you're not in the JP side of the Wuthering Waves community, right, recently over the past, I want to say 3 days or so, there's been a particular bit of drama about this one guy, I don't even know what to call him, boy, I don't know, that I want to just like touch on as well. I want to run through. So I want to run through all that, give you the quick and dirty and all that, and then I want to get into the story. So there's two things I want to do first, and then we're gonna do that if that's good with everyone else. You guys are welcome in. Good evening. Nothing new about Chisa aside from the design is kind of cool. Well, I've noticed this. They commented about Chisa, but I don't know precisely what they said. So I'd like to read through all of that. So let me just jump on here. So this is an account on the JP side of Wuthering Waves community. They have Abby as a icon. They have Forlova as a background. I've already gone through their account and they've been tweeting a lot about Wuthering Waves. Right. The thing is though, this person has been getting absolutely flamed, like absolutely like roasted in the Wuthering Waves community for the past 3 days, and I'm still not sure why they or how or what. There's a particular post that they made. I'm still surprised that they haven't deleted it yet. Me trying to show you this, I hope they haven't deleted it in the past few hours of me checking since earlier today. I've been waiting for like a kind of conclusion to happen. I think things are starting to settle down. Right, so I want to just go here. Right, so there was this post here that was made on the 31st of August, so not long after the 2.6 update came out. And I've bookmarked it here just so I could find it easily. I've already found it anyway. So this post here is saying, I'm just going to do translate. I've already checked all the translations, the auto translation. There's some that are like kind of off, but let's just check this. Wuthering Waves story, well, isn't that interesting, right? Yeah. If there are people who can empathize, I'd like you to tell me. I really know the timing is bad, but precisely because it's right after the update. So, in this initial post, as you can see here, there's like 316 likes, 224 retweets, and 42 comments. And I've looked through a lot of the replies on this, and it's been like kind of a mix. Like there were some that were just saying, well, yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's just depending on that. But there's like a lot of people supporting what they're saying and also criticizing what they're saying. I haven't already played, by the way, Kaido, I haven't played the main quest yet. I'm going to do that in a moment. I just want to do this while we're waiting for other people to come in. So this is like the most up-liked post reply on this. The story itself isn't particularly exciting, and there are areas for improvement, like bringing back past characters to make it more engaging. However, the graphics, direction, and lighting are top-notch among anime-style titles, such as including console games. So I'm enjoying it overall because of those elements. That's probably why, despite some dissatisfaction, everyone rated as interesting. And they say, yeah, they particularly agree here. I think you're absolutely right. But in the end, it seems like they're just getting by with high-quality movies or high-quality cutscenes. And I can't help but feel that really interesting stories aren't like that. I totally get why everyone rated it so highly, especially since they've been doing it since every day since release. And right, 11 likes there. And this person basically just says, yeah, you're like trying to separate it for the cutscenes from the story itself, and you should take it as a whole complete package. But so there were a lot of people in here that were like kind of supporting, as you can see here. Like this one was also this is something I saw commented on quite a lot. It's not so much that it's boring, but rather that the story almost always progresses with just the rover plus one other person, making the development seem so formulaic. There are a lot of other posts in here that do the same thing, like this one here. There's hardly any depiction of the protagonist's emotions or growth. The characters that appear in the story don't get involved anymore once the protagonist leaves that region. So the relationship between other resonators and the protagonist seems thin too. If you're looking for story, it's better to go for full purchase. Go for the full purchase, or go for a full purchase game title. Every time it's the flow of getting help from at the travel destination and flirting. There were quite a few other posts saying the same thing. A lot of people were saying they're saying the same thing that I've also been saying, that the problem with the story is that they're not bringing past characters into the story. It's always been just like the rover and the banner character, like just rover and one other person, or rover maybe two other people max, and those are it for the story. And last time I said that, a lot of people got in the comments saying, well, there's law reasons why this. I'm like, yeah, that's the bullshit reason that Kuro comes up with, so they don't have to include other people. Like, for example, with the whole Looper quest, why wasn't Brant or Shikona in there as well? Like, they could have easily woven them into the story to bring them in there if they wanted to. And people say, well, they were busy in Rinasita, in Raguno. No, they weren't. They were there for the card game event, as well as Calcro, but that's a different conversation. Same thing with the story For a Lover story with Fenrico. Why wasn't Phoebe there at any point? Like, at all. Like, I was really expecting Phoebe to be there at some point to, like, give her opinion. Like, she's on the side of Fenrico, because of course she is. She's with the Order of the Deep. And then she slowly comes to realization that Fenrico's not being fully honest, or like he thinks he's being honest. Well, she comes to a similar kind of realization that Rover is, and then she like kind of turns on Fenrico, and we could have teamed up with Phoebe, and that could have been her arc as well as Rover's arc. And yeah, so that's just like a side thing. Point being, throughout all this here, there are a lot of people that were supporting this person's comment, this person's post, kind of half support, half not, saying it's not that it's disinteresting, just say it feels very, very formulaic, that it's always just Rover and the banner character. Rover and the banner character. There's no real actual progression. There's no real whole world cohesiveness that happens, because the whole benefit of gacha games, of having so many characters that you have to pull for, is that you have a larger cast to work with and to deal with and to work around in the story. Because at the end of the day, whether you agree with this or not, one of the biggest draws of these gacha games is particularly the story. Like I would say the vast majority of the gacha games out there, if they don't have a good story that keeps people interested, I would say about 80 to 90% of these gacha games would have been dead about 5 years ago, about a year after they'd launched, because the story is what carries these games, whether you agree with that or not, right? So that's what they're saying here, is that the problem with the Wuthering Waves story isn't that it's really it's not interesting, because they think it is interesting. The problem that they have with the story, and then you can read this for yourself if you'd like to, you could just search for Wuthering Waves and look for story, and you'll find a lot of comments saying the exact same thing, is that it's always just Rover, banner character, Rover, banner character. It's not really, that part, that aspect is not interesting. And I don't care what the in-game lore reasons that they come up with. Those are bullshit reasons, because those aren't actually lore reasons. Those are Kuro reasons that they mold into the story. Kuro could have just as easily created a lore reason why they would be in the story, why they would be in the region. So I really, like, just that argument on its face is laughable. Will I try Limbus? I don't know. I don't really have that much time. But I have noticed that Limbus is doing a collaboration with Arknights, which I'm really quite happy about. Anyway, so point being, for this part here, this thread here, as you can see, 316 likes, 224 retweets, 42 comments. And I've gone through, and the vast majority are, on the whole, I don't really agree. I think the story is interesting, although there are some things I'm not satisfied with, namely what I've just gone through. Right, so there's that. And then they got a lot of replies from that here. I'm just going to show you. Everyone, I am deeply grateful for your many valuable opinions. To those saying, write your own opinion, as in write a review, I will post a summary on Note, which is a blogging site in Japan, later. So please wait until then. To those saying, no, I'm interesting. This is a mistranslation. Let me just go to the original Japanese here. Yeah, watashi wa omoshirai. Like, this is watashi wa omoshirai. That's saying I am interesting. No, it's saying it is interesting for me. So that's the mistranslation there. This post consists entirely of my personal thoughts, so please value your own opinions when reading replies. 22 likes, 4 retweets, and 7 comments here. Right. This is the post. This is what where is it? Right. This is the one. So they did eventually come out with their tweet here, their follow-up tweet that they promised, where they wrote their opinions on the Wuthering Waves story. And as you can see here, 96 likes, 199 retweets, 190 comments. I've not even checked how many quote retweets there are, but there are a lot. It's kind of crazy. Let me just read this first, though. Sorry for the wait. Here are my opinions and feelings regarding the Wuthering Waves story. Everyone told me who told me to share my opinion, please take a look. I tried to get this out as quickly as possible, so the writing might feel a bit rough since I haven't had time to polish it. Please bear with me. All right, so I've already got it up here. This is their post. If you want, I'll do this way, and then I'll get a side by side. In fact, I think I've already translated this earlier. This Google translation is not the best. One second, let me just pull this up on the side here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where did I put it? Okay, I've got my translation here, but I'm just gonna keep it to the side for if there's anything that comes up that I thought was like pretty wrong. Anyway, so this is their post here. I will be critiquing the Norushio, the Wuthering Waves story. Notes, I'm just an ordinary high school student. That's important because there's been a lot of conversation about that particular point in the Japanese community after that, but let's just put that to the side. I don't have any special experiences, nor do I have any skills in writing novels. Please read on as if I'm a viewer. Everything written here is my personal opinion. Content only spoiled up to chapter 2, act 8. I've already been spoiled, so I don't really... spoiled on some things, not the whole thing. Please read at your own risk. If you tweet an opinion, you agree or disagree, I'd appreciate if you could take a screenshot of that part and post it on your tweet. A lot of people did. Regarding the tempo, regarding the speed here, the pacing, should I say. I'm just going to read mine actually. I'm reading this part here. I'm just going to read my translation. The pacing of the Wuthering Waves story is just too fast. It's a continuous list of necessary information with occasional minor conversational moments. It feels like there's no time to relax while reading. So it's one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. And again, some people can disagree with that. I think I would personally disagree with that, but that's what they're saying. We're not getting to the big stuff here. Regarding empathy, yeah. Or the emotional context, emotional connection, should I say. Yuna's character was particularly bad. Just because a character is good looking doesn't mean you can connect with them emotionally. When the fake sovereign, I've already fought this boss before. When the fake sovereign was lured out and Yuna got hurt, I didn't feel any sadness. It was just some person I barely knew getting injured. Okay. Comparisons with Genshin Impact and Paimon's role. Okay. I'm just going to read my translation here. So this is the part I'm reading. If I compare it to Genshin Impact, some people might say, then just go play Genshin Impact. But Wuthering Waves was clearly made with Genshin in mind, so let's just ignore that for the moment. Paimon in Genshin's story plays a role in balancing the 2 points above. For example, Paimon regularly summarizes the conversations and helps the main character, who rarely speaks, form a connection with other characters. Paimon says things like this. I'm getting hungry. And the other character, the person that character is speaking to, that Paimon's speaking to, okay, I'll make you something to eat. This one exchange is a good way to help you connect with the character. If you say so. You now know them as someone who made food for the traveler and shared a meal with them. All right, I don't really care about that at all. But this is possibly one of the worst reviews I've ever read. I'll just be quite honest. Okay, regarding story structure, I'm reading this part here. It's just funny. Right, this is very clear in Act 7 of Chapter 2, with the main quest for Frolova. Wuthering Waves often uses a mechanism where it scatters ambiguous information in the first half and then ties it all together at once in the second half. Of course, this can work in some stories, but it doesn't in Wuthering Waves. When a mystery is introduced, readers want the story to move towards solving it, but the habit of leaving mysteries unsolved for a while makes the story very easy to get tired of. Wow. Let's just put it that way. Wow. It depends on what you're talking about. Like, there are some things I think really should have been tied up in stories. Some things in stories should be tied up, and some things are called like overarching narratives that shouldn't be tied up until much later. So there's that. And it depends, like, how long do they leave these questions being unanswered for? Like, if I was going to make a comparison, and I do not like making comparisons, honestly, but if we are going to make a comparison about a video that I've made in the past about Honkai Star Rail, there are a lot of things in Honkai Star Rail that were left as open questions that hadn't been solved for at least a year. Like the whole thing with like the coffin like who's in the coffin, what's in the coffin. I think we've only just finally found out some information about that. There's a lot of stuff that happens in HSR that doesn't even get addressed, not even like alluded to, until a year plus later. Whereas in Wuthering Waves, you usually have to wait, I don't know, about 3 weeks. There's a bit of difference there, and it's usually within the same patch. I've made similar criticisms before, but not to this degree. Right. Okay, so the stiff writing style. Yeah, okay, see here. The stiff writing style. This is a matter of personal opinion or personal preference, but the writing in Wuthering Waves feels stiff. Since it's likely a translation of a story originally written in another language, i.e. Chinese, it's somewhat unavoidable. However, I wish they'd lighten the prose, lighten the dialogue, so that most people can understand it immediately. What they're saying is here that they're using certain words and phrases that seem a bit archaic, a bit too stiff, and like they don't really sound as natural as other people might expect. I think it depends on the character. Some characters may do that, but again, that's part of their character. On the whole, though, I don't really. All right. Regarding comments of ratings, yeah. Okay, so let me just. The reviews are mixed. First of all, Wuthering Waves isn't at a level where it should be judged as a matter of personal preference. I mean, you just said it's personal preference. Now you're saying it shouldn't be judged as a personal preference, but whatever. I'm not saying I dislike those harem-style stories. I do dislike them just personally, but I think that's a translation. Wait a second. Wait, no. Hang on, that's a mistranslation. Sorry, I got this wrong. 別にお好みもしないが like, no, he's saying that he doesn't particularly enjoy them here. So this person is also saying that they don't particularly enjoy the gathering wives aspect. Sorry, that was my I don't know why I wrote it that way. Oh wait, no, I already I referenced it. So I'm not saying I dislike those harem-style stories I often found in light novels, though I don't particularly prefer them, so I did address it. Not a mistranslation. My dissatisfaction comes from the fact that Kuro Games is not presenting the story that they want to tell in the best possible way. At the very least, I wish I could watch the story and understand 99% of what's happening. That's this part here. Like, I want to be in the best possible frame of mind to experience the scenes of Wuthering Waves that Wuthering Waves wants to show. In Act 1, in Chapter 1, Act 8, should I say, I tweeted, I wonder how many people praising this are people who couldn't have been moved to tears without the cutscenes. Saying, if you didn't have the cutscenes, then you wouldn't have cried at this scene, would you? Or those who give it a high rating because of peer pressure. Again, saying people are only giving it a high rating because everyone else is saying that you have to give it. Like, oh, like if you give it a bad rating, then you would have gotten dogpiled on, and that people are only giving it a high rating because they're being pressured to. Maybe. This wasn't meant to pressure people who like the Wuthering Waves story. It was a question about whether the story in Act 8 was actually interesting on its own. How many people fully understood the story before watching the final cutscene? It feels like the high quality cutscenes are carrying the story. Personal comment here. As the other person said, I think the cutscenes are a part of the story, so it's like to take them out of it is a bit stupid. And I'm particularly happy that they have more of these and they're telling the story in a more interesting way. But let's just go back to his little review here. Well, he actually mentions it, should I say. Yeah, there. Some people say that a game story should be judged with the cutscenes and presentation included. I get that. That's why I'm presenting this as my personal opinion. Genshin's cutscenes aren't as high quality as Wuthering Waves, and the characters don't move as much. Okay. And yet, after I finished the Sumeru chapter, I truly felt that was so good. I can't help but think that a truly good story is like that. Saying that if it was a really good story, you wouldn't need cutscenes. I mean, that's like saying, oh, if it was a really good story, you wouldn't need to be a movie. You just deal with the book. I'm like, no, people like to enjoy stories in different ways. Like some people like prefer to read books, and some people prefer to watch movies. Some people like to enjoy both. But let's go back to his whatever here. This is where he talks about the Wuthering Waves community. Yeah, here. Lately, I think the Wuthering Waves community has become a space where it's hard to criticize because everyone is praising it so much. If you say something negative, you're immediately attacked as just being told to go play Genshin then, or make your own game. I'm branded as someone who can't read the room. I really like Wuthering Waves. I started playing it at release. I log in almost every day, and I've recommended it to many people. That's precisely why I think we need to be clear about what needs to be improved on and what isn't good. On that specific line, I agree, but what they've been saying is a bit all right. I know that some of my opinions might not be understood because of the differences in the player base, but I want everyone to take a step back and consider maybe this is how someone with this background and history with Wuthering Waves feels. And then they're just like saying thank you for reading, even though it's like a bit of a hodgepodge of words. Yeah, like that last comment, like the things that you should be open about, what you would like to be changed, like giving constructive criticism about. You didn't say constructive, but like pointing out the flaws of the game and pointing out where things are weak, where things are strong. What, like being more like that. Yeah, that specific line, I possibly more than anyone 100% agree. But like what they've said up here, bit of a different conversation. Yeah, so that was their post. Right. There was a considerable amount of replies on there, as you can see. 190 replies. Let me just refresh this right now. And a lot of quote retweets as well. A lot of quote retweets. They were getting dragged for it. Like the one with the most likes on here. Let me just say this one thing. I'll just say this one thing. You're no longer just liking Wuthering Waves, but rather, like, this is a bit of a mistranslation, saying they're making this post as a way to say, oh, I'm so cool. Everyone's glazing Wuthering Waves, but I'm cool because I'm not just glazing Wuthering Waves. I'm like, everyone has the right to voice their criticisms, and I don't deny that. Even I have some question marks if asked if everything was good. 1 second, let me just go back to the original. Yeah, like if someone asked him if everything was good, even he would have some questions. But like saying you should calm down a bit. It's not that your impressions are being criticized, but rather that people who are enjoying Wuthering Waves' story and are likely most excited about the version update have had their enthusiasm dampened by seeing your tweet with the official tag right after the update. So a lot of people are actually angry about them using the official Wuthering Waves tag in this. Did I see the Famitsu interview? I'm going to go through that in a moment, actually. I just want to go through this, and then we're going to read through that interview, and then we're going to play the 2.6 update story. So I've skimmed through it, but I haven't read through it properly. This person was particularly annoyed. I saw a lot of posts by them. I read it. I read your notes blog thing, but despite making me wait, the content was shallow and not something I could agree with. In the end, it's just about their frustration that a certain title that they think is interesting isn't being appreciated, saying that the impression that they got when reading through their review was that because Genshin isn't getting as much praise as Wuthering Waves, they're voicing their frustrations about that, while Wuthering Waves is getting praise. They're just saying that the high valuation is due to peer pressure or something. Yeah, and I sorry, let me just read that. To be honest, nowadays you read 8+ hour chapter on the regular in PGR. It just has music, a bit of images, and in-game battles, and can flesh out characters easily. Yeah, I agree. Like there's different ways to tell stories. Like there's a lot of and this is actually going to be in my next video on the history of gacha story writing. It's actually half edited right now. I want to try and finish that edit and get it out for this weekend. Got so much stuff going on, But there's actually a thing. There's like two different styles. There's actually a name for that style. Why am I blanking? There's one called Ningyogeki, which is like puppet theater, and the other one is it's like where you a storyboard where it's a picture. It's like picture theater. It's like a picture theater, picture slideboard theater. And PGR is the picture slideboard theater, whereas Wuthering Waves is called the Ningyogeki. I can't remember the Japanese word for the other one. It'll come to me later. But yeah, there's a specific name for that. Point being, there are pros and cons for both of these, and which one you prefer depends on you as a person and also on the story. So yeah, there's a lot of people on here and also in the quote retweets. All right, there's a lot of quote retweets. Let's just put it that way. There's more and more and more and more and more. It's just a lot. I've already read through that. Before he actually made his post as well, his note post, he actually said that as well. I'm trying to avoid touching on it as much as possible because if I tweet about it weirdly, I'll give off a weird impression. But I just want to say this one thing. It's not that I hate Wuthering Waves style, plot developments, or anything. I don't like collecting local wives or harem stories either, but that's just a matter of personal taste. That's later. Right, so as I mentioned at the beginning of this, they made out the clarification that, oh, I'm a high school student, okay? And that was actually brought up a lot because there was such a heavy backlash to that review, if you want to call it that. They made their post. They got some support in the beginning about saying that Wuthering Waves' story wasn't all that interesting, as I showed, and then they made their note post, and then they just got absolutely dragged. And then there were certain people that came to their defense saying, like, okay, he's an idiot, but he's a high schooler, so you shouldn't really rag on him all that too much. And I've seen a lot of people, all throughout today, and also some of yesterday as well, just saying like, yeah, he says he's a high schooler, but do we know if he's a high schooler or not? And even if he was a high schooler, does that really excuse things? Should we actually give him all that leeway? Like this. If I claim to be a high school student, it seems like no matter what gaffe or whatever blunder I do, whatever I make, people will automatically defend me. So maybe I should claim that too. This was a post saying that we should because there was so much backlash. Again, this tweet here got 197 likes. Let me just read this. Guys, let's just stop it already. Of course, the high schooler is at fault. The timing's terrible, and there are parts of the story written on the notes that they haven't fully grasped. Like there were some things that they were complaining about that they just didn't understand. The reason why they're complaining about it is because they didn't understand it. But that doesn't mean I'm defending them either. Seriously though, someone needs to put a stop to this. It's spread way too far, so it's definitely caught the attention of people outside the Wuthering Waves community. True, I've seen a lot of people outside the Wuthering Waves community in Japan look at the Wuthering Waves community of Japan thinking like, those guys are absolutely like crazy. What the fuck are they doing? So similar things that have happened in both EN and JP, unfortunately. From the perspective of those other communities, the atmosphere in this community, where people gang up to bash an individual's opinion, must absolutely look bad. There were even some replies that crossed the line saying, disabled people should die. That's just outright denying someone's existence. It's too pitiful. It's too sad. If they end up quitting because of this, the responsibility falls on the people who were attacking them. And other communities will say the Wuthering Waves community is trash. You know those ads that keep popping up on TikTok and stuff? There are people out there who haven't played yet and are thinking, I might want to try this out. If they see ads for Wuthering Waves, they might want to check out Wuthering Waves. But when they see this kind of thing, they'll get scared and think, maybe I shouldn't play this game after all. This game is seriously done for. Didn't we all come together to spread the greatness of Wuthering Waves? Isn't that what this is all about? And to the high schooler, it's fine to criticize, but give feedback, including that kind of stuff. Give constructive feedback. To the Wuthering Waves community as a whole, Can't you have a bit more composure? If you don't like critical tweets, mute them or block them and show some mature behavior. There are probably a lot of people out there, people here who've lived longer than I have, right? I'm deliberately posting this with the tag so a lot of people see it. So they've got the official tags here. Yeah. So I'm gonna like give my whole opinion on the entire thing in a moment, but like, yeah. So this is another tweet that I found, 244 likes. So there's conversation about Wuthering Waves' story not being interesting, but while the Rovers group is being hindered by countless after images created by the Black Tide, this is actually talking about the story in 1.0. Uwu, please don't clip that. This is a mistranslation of the kanji for Enbu, or Yuanwu. Yuanwu suddenly descends from the sky with thunder, leaving the line, "I'll handle this, you go into the future." And faces the after images alone. After images alone, what's the... Zanso, after images is the word for tacit discords, by the way. I couldn't help but cry and feel moved by that scene. I'm really glad I played Wuthering Waves. Okay, so... yeah. A lot of people did feel particular parts of Wuthering Waves' story are moving. The Yuan Wu part was something for them. I've already read through that. This is Ratflat. I know Ratflat. We follow each other. Well, I follow him. Wait. Yeah, I follow him. They're way too big. Yeah, whatever. This is something that's very common in Japanese things that you might not see. Sorry for the reply. Very often, when people like reply, they say, "Sorry for replying. Just excuse me." Happens a lot. It's just a Japanese thing. I think all I can say is it depends on the person. I'm enjoying it plenty myself, but if we hypothetically rate the story on a scale of 0 to 100 points, there are people who consider it not good if it's not at least 90 points, and people who are okay with it with even 60 points. So it's hard to say that everyone feels the same. Personally, I think that Wuthering Waves is around 70 points, so 7 out of 10. But it falls short of a 90-point scenario, 90-point story. However, as a gacha game, it's plenty fun. In fact, as far as the standards expected of gacha games go, it's way above average. Maybe even top tier. Though for novel games, or like visual novels, 75 points might even be considered a bit iffy. Even games like Ever 17, don't know what that game is, but okay, which are hailed as masterpieces in the novel game genre, have one foot dipped into trash game territory up until the midpoint. But the final evaluation is that of a masterpiece. Maybe it's fine to rate it after the Reinstated arc is done. Raffle actually said something else as well. I remember seeing them post... Where is it? Nice. What else did they say? They posted something else. I remember seeing it. Oh, they posted this. I just thought it was funny. They were playing with Augusta and thought, wait, Augusta's pretty weak, no? Turns out they were playing with a level 1 weapon. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Anyway. I've already read through this. Yeah, this person's saying the same thing I read earlier, that the main problem. Okay, right. So I'm going through all this again, but the main problem that Japan has with the story right now is always rover, banner character, rover, banner character, rover, banner character. There's no cohesion of bringing all the other past characters into the story. Like they'll have a cameo of having a character like hologram in or talk on the phone, but they're not actually in the story. That's the main problem. Yeah, I've already read that one. Right. So there's that. That was something that happened. I thought it was quite interesting. Right, my opinion on the whole thing, on this, is taking into consideration that if they are a high schooler, we don't know if they actually are, but I don't know. if you put your opinion out there, you expect people to respond to it regardless. Like, not everyone knows, nor does everyone care what age you are. The way I deal with people in general is that I typically assume that everyone I'm speaking to is somewhere around at least 20 years old. That's not because of any preconceptions I have. It's just like, I don't like talking down to people. So if I assume people are like 13 or something like that, and then they end up being 30, I don't want to feel like I'm being patronizing in that kind of sense. I'll be sarcastic and patronizing for a lot of different things, but like not age-wise. I'll treat everyone exactly the same, regardless of what age they are. So putting that aside, on the points of the story, I've already given my opinions when I was reading through the note thing. There were certain things that they said, like, by itself, yes. As a whole, no. But yeah, it's just funny. And on top of that, like I said, we always have this weird, I don't know, I want to say like fetishization of the JP community, of saying, JP never gets into drama. JP never gets into drama. Yeah, they do. Quite a lot, actually. The reason why you don't see it is because you don't understand Japanese. And even then, it's difficult to find all the conversations about the drama, because a lot of can I find it? I'm going to search for Kokosei Meicho, as in Kokosei high schooler Wuthering Waves, because there are a lot of other tweets, just like, even like, let's just go latest, even from an hour ago, 2 hours ago, 8 hours ago. There's so many different tweets of people still talking about this conversation that I've just gone through with you all here that are not in the replies. They're not in the quote retweets, so you can't find it unless you know exactly what you're looking for. And very often, if you're looking for something about Genshin and drama, then they'll very often obfuscate the word that they're looking for. So instead of writing Genshin, instead of like this, they'll write Gen Maru, or they'll just write Hara, because Genshin, the kanji for Gen can be read as Hara, and so like Harashin, Harashin is like like what's Kurobots and Hoyoshills, basically. The people are like really into Hoyoverse game. Point being, it's really fucking difficult to find drama in JP because it's hidden a lot more, but there's always a lot of it if you know where to look and how to find it. But yeah, I thought this is something that's still going on. Even it's been going on for the past 3 days. A lot of conversation has been about this. There's been like full on web pages about this particular drama. If you look in this here, you'll find a lot more drama to find. Yeah. What's the drama? Just a JP thing. If you're interested to find out what it is, basically, long story short, probably the worst review I've ever seen. I'm not ignoring chat, Runa. Not on purpose, anyway. PGR has frames so they can easily bring back characters. I'm just saying I was talking about something. The reason why I block that out is because if I go out of my thought, I'll lose my thought and I won't finish that thought. I won't finish that what I was saying. So, sorry. But yeah. 2.0 was around 8 hours, if I remember correctly, and it didn't too focus on each character, but had relative focus. That was the thing I really enjoyed about 2.0, is that it had several characters, and they all played a role. 2.0 was a lot better. 2.0 was a lot better. And then it just went back into the same formula. It's like, Rover, banner character. Rover, banner character. We had Rover and 2 banner characters of Cartesia and Cantarella. That was good. But then, yeah, whatever. Right. Favorite aspects of Wuthering Waves. Beautiful graphics. Each character feels uniquely charming. The story has recently become more expansive. Areas for improvement for Wuthering Waves. The Rover is suddenly becoming a higher being. Previously introduced characters don't reappear, even though enemies do. Dungeon still hasn't had her moment. So, is it? Are you late? No. I've gone through one particular JP drama thing. I'm going to read a Kuro interview, and then I'm going to play 2.6. It's taken a while to get through that. So, guys, I've mentioned this before, and I'll say it again. I'm really fucking annoyed, and I get really annoyed whenever I do a what does Japan think about, insert something here. And I always get people saying, no, you're just cherry picking the ones that support your own opinion. You're using Japan as a shield, as a way to push your own opinion. Like, no. There have been several things in other what does Japan think about whatever videos that I vehemently disagree with. Like, very much so. But I present those opinions regardless. Because they're my videos, yes, but they're not my opinions. And I have always strove to present the opinions of Japan as faithfully as I can. And when I say, what does Japan think of course you're going to find one or two people that don't fit in with what I say Japan thinks. But like for the vast majority of the Japanese audience, of the Japanese players, of the Japanese people that are commenting on whatever I'm referencing or whatever I'm talking about, the vast majority of it is what I say. If it's a 50-50, then I'll say it's a 50-50. But if it's like 90% this and 10% that, I'm not going to show you guys that because there's no point in that, is there? So people who claim that should prove it. Zodrak, I've asked them several times, can you prove me misrepresenting the JP side of things? Can you just do that? And they never do. Because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, they'll use grok translations and find one or two tweets that disprove what I'm saying. But like I'm saying, you'll find one or two tweets here, 90, 50, 900 more that say what I'm saying. It's so fucking annoying. And I'll be honest, guys, I apologize that I know that I am mainly a JP side content creator, and I've not done many videos of like, what does Japan think about whatever. And the reason for that is because I've just been really demotivated. It's been really demotivating. Like every time I do a, what does Japan think about this? I always get people in the comments and on Twitter saying, Ryuku's pushing his opinions again. I'm like, I spend literally dozens of hours going through tweets and replies and quote retweets and streams and videos and all sorts of things, like over days and days and days. And I check and check and check to find anything that's come up after I've already checked. I put all this work into these videos, and it's really demotivating when people completely dismiss everything as like, oh no, he's just pushing his own opinion. I'm not. Rage baiting? I don't know. Right. So I want to go into this Famitsu interview here with the Kuro devs. I don't remember if they said who exactly they were speaking to here, but in fact, I'll do the same thing. I'll do a side by side, just in case. I'll do this English. Rono, welcome in. They really put JP on a pedestal? Yeah. A lot of people that put JP on a pedestal don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And yeah. You haven't made any what does Jinshi mean type videos in a long while. Oh, the meaning of the name thing. When it comes to the new federation and we get more, hopefully, Japanese style character names, you best believe I'll be doing that for every single character. So look forward to that. But the reason why I haven't done any more of those is because in the end, it's like their names are originally in Chinese, and it's difficult for me to make a lot of, like with some of them, I happen to be right. But a lot of other ones, it's kind of hard about that. I put Duke on a pedestal. Thank you. Right. So I'm going to try and check these translations as I'm reading. If anything like seems a bit like mistranslated, I'll check on here and then I'll just go on that. In fact, no, maybe I'll just swap these. I'll put English on this side and Japanese on this side. All right, because that way you guys can read this on this side. And if I do end up making this a video, then I can just like you see zoom in and we'll go good. He'll get cocky. What about you, Dooku? NPC placement instead of playable character, where the NPC makes the word feel more alive. There are some things where I think NPCs are good, but some things like, why don't you just use a character? Like, say, for example, the Lolo Logistics thing. We have a random NPC that we see like several dozen of them around the world for that. Why don't we have the Scottish girl? I've actually just... Lumi. Completely. Again, that's part of the point. I forgot her name because we haven't seen her in the story since November. That's part of the point. That's the problem. Why isn't Lumi in charge of everything to do with Lolo Logistics? 1.4. Is that November or October? A long time ago. Don't force playable characters if it doesn't make sense for them to be there. I agree. But when it does make sense for them to be there, they should absolutely use them. Yes. I mean, you said it just as I said that, but yes. Right, let's just read this. In August 2025, at the Chinese gaming event Kuro Fest, I had the opportunity to interview several people from Kuro Games, the studio behind games like Wuthering Waves. Founded in 2014, Kuro Games is a Guangzhou, China... I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. I probably didn't. China-based game studio. It debuted in 2016 with Battlefield Twin Tales and its 2020 release, the 3D action RPG Punishing Gray Raven. And they became smash hits. Furthermore, the open world RPG, Wuthering Waves, launched in 2024, is a huge hit, making one of China's leading emerging game studios. However, when a representative told me Kuro Games already has over 2,000 employees, I was reminded that Kuro Games is no longer a rising star. In this article, I'll summarize the stories I've heard from key Kuro Games staff members and reconstruct them into an easy-to-understand interview format. Kuro Games started out as a rising star studio and is now becoming an established Chinese development company. We will be sharing their story, philosophy, and outlook. Although we were able to speak with many people from multiple departments during this interview, for ease of understanding, we have used the name Kuro Games to refer to all respondents. So we don't know exactly who they have spoken to, whether it's Solon, Dong, or whatever, or just other developers, but they're developers. Right. Punishing Gray Raven, 3D action born from a challenge. First, please tell us about Punishing Gray Raven, hereby referred to as PGR. Let's just say PGR. The title that brought great growth to the studio. Why did you decide to launch it as a 3D action game in the first place? When we first started working on Pigtails on the Battlefield, I don't know if that's their actual official English name, but whatever, in the early 2010s, we didn't have enough experience in the long-term management or maintaining an ecosystem. Therefore, we focused all our efforts on completing the game. As a result, the 3D content and gameplay experience we specialize in didn't fully suit Pigtails on the Battlefield. What is the actual official English name for that first game? Does anyone know? I don't remember because I've never played that game. Battlefield Twin Tales. Thank you. Or Twin Tail Battle... I'm just say both of those. Which was built on the Cocos engine. Okay. However, this experience, technology, and accumulated know-how in personnel and management led to our decision to take on the challenge of moving from 2D to 3D, namely launching Punishing Gray Raven. However, initially, we didn't intend for Punishing Gray Raven to be an action game. You didn't intend to make it an action game? What was your initial plan? Our goal at the time was to create a 3D immersive game that would utilize innovative combo elements to direct character movements. However, during the testing phase, we realized that motion effects that the player could not control themselves would not provide a sufficient sense of immersion. So, based on user feedback, we added controls such as normal attacks and evasions. After repeated testing, PGR gradually became closer to an action game. And then one day we officially decided to make this into a full-on action game. Okay. What is the reason that PGR remains so vibrant even 6 years after its release? And what is the core competitive element? Kuro Games' next goal for 2025 is to create titles that can be operated for more than 10 years. We hope that PGR will be one of those. To achieve this, we need unique competitive strengths. First, the subject matter is a post-apocalyptic science fiction. This will allow the game to have a long-term range of expression, allowing us to design characters and monsters and provide a narrative experience that intertwines despair and hope. I just have a question though. Do we have like more images? Yep. That looks about what I expect from a post-apocalyptic landscape. So when they say post-apocalypse, we should be getting something along the lines of this. Something along the lines of here too. Yeah. Okay. Side note. Anyway, back to this. Second, the game's core gameplay experience, we aim to maintain a unique combination of puzzle elements and combat over a long term while also introducing new approaches to the controls. Finally, we are building an ecosystem for our game, IP, intellectual property. How we can connect the content we've accumulated over the past 6 years to the user's emotions is crucial. Looking back, PGR is still far from perfect in this regard. We currently have many projects underway and we hope to provide an even more refined gaming experience in the future. Unusual echoes. I'm talking about my past conversations about what I expect from a post-apocalyptic landscape when it comes to Wuthering Waves, and that people said it's post-apocalypse. That means it's the apocalypse happened and it's after that, and everything's fine now. But it's still after the apocalypse, so therefore it's still post-apocalypse. Ooh, gotcha, you fucking moron! Jesus Christ, people are stupid. By that same token, yes, we are currently living in a post-apocalypse. The world right now that we live in is a post-apocalypse because there's been several apocalyptic events that have happened on Earth. Meteors, ice ages, among many others. They're all post-apocalypse. We're living a post-apocalypse. Whatever. Sorry, I'm getting annoyed again. People are so fucking annoying. Like, I swear to God. Where was I? Down here. When someone says post-apocalypse, you have a very specific idea of what you should expect from that type of visualization. I'm sorry, I can't let it go. Or just to say post-apocalyptic world. There's a difference between apocalyptic world and post-apocalyptic world. We're talking about post-apocalyptic. This is what I expect from post-apocalyptic. This is what, if you search for post-apocalyptic, you get this shit. This is what you get. If you search for apocalyptic world, you get something even worse. Barely, but pretty worse. Show me a region in here that looks kind of... I'm not fucking... Anyway. After the success of PGR, please tell us about the developments leading up to Wuthering Waves, which was released in 2024. The success of Project Grey Raven overturned the industry stereotype that small teams have their limits. It made it into the top 3 iOS game sales rankings and has continued to operate steadily over the 6 years. PGR, talking about PGR right now. At the same time, this challenge proved Kuro Games' corporate culture of challenge equals greatness and led to the launch of our next large-scale open world plus action RPG, Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves is the largest production ever, so did you encounter ever for PGR, ever for Kuro Games, should I say. So did you encounter any difficulties during development? That's correct. I'm checking the translations. Yeah. Kuro Games rapidly expanded its team during development of Wuthering Waves. The team already had over 500 staff members during development, but the project was so large that it was still not enough. There were difficult decisions to make, such as whether to allocate resources to improvements before 2.0 or to focus on future major updates. However, in the end, we chose to deliver something that exceeds user expectations, and as a result, Wuthering Waves has been able to establish itself in the position it is today. The characters in Wuthering Waves seem to be top class in their crafting, even when compared to the same genre. Can you tell us about your thoughts on the action and design? Let's take Cartithia as an example. When we saw the design for Cartithia's two forms, Fleur-de-Lis and Cartithia. For Fleur-de-Lis, we wanted to create an experience where you could constantly switch between forms and control both freely. However, because Fleur-de-Lis has a unique body shape, putting it lightly, she's pretty big. She's very tall. She's very big in many different ways. In order to realize free exploration in the field, we had to create entirely new field interactions and movement logic from scratch. This was a huge burden in terms of manpower, and we were also limited in time. But thanks to the efforts of the team, who worked all night, we were able to finally create the form that you all see today. I haven't played the quest yet, Mr. Dr. Weeaboo. I like how the special move motions are more flashy than ever before. Well, Hisatsuwaza, talking about the special move, as in like the ultimate move, should I say? Yeah, the ult animations, should I say? In designing her second great move, a blow that cuts the sea, like split the tides, we incorporated a destructive blow that combines the three swords into a special move to express Fleur-de-Lis's power. To create a powerful impact, we incorporated a scene that splits the sea with a single flash. In conjunction with her ability to control water, for the scene of the great move, we made full use of fluid simulation and put a lot of effort into the visual expression. However, to express Fleur-de-Lis's strength, the swing down of the three swords after combining them has to be a light one, yet still convey overwhelming power. For this reason, we deliberately incorporated an expression like stream of consciousness. One second, let me stream of consciousness. Where? Yes, it's literally just consciousness. Yeah, stream of consciousness. Okay. And devised a way to allow the viewer to experience the weight that this lightness creates. What about the visual design? While visual motifs like fish fins and spines convey the essence of Wuthering Waves, again, waves, ocean, sea, we incorporated irises as an anchor. Iris is the fleur-de-lis, the actual, can I see it on here? You can see a small one on her pendant here. You know the cross there? That's also called an iris as well, not the flower. We incorporated irises, fleur-de-lis, as an anchor for the character's individuality. The crown on her head expresses her saintly nature, and her blonde hair and pointed ears add elven elements. The challenge was creating a connection between the two forms. While the characters appear at the same time, their ages and personalities must be portrayed as changing. To achieve this, we intentionally created differences while maintaining consistency in the color scheme and silhouette of the costumes. For example, the crown of thorns is common to both forms, but Cartithia's is slender and simple, while Fleur-de-Lis is large, exaggerated, and darker in color. Cartithia's hairstyle is also neatly shaped, while Fleur-de-Lis has long, flowing bangs to hide her eyes, creating a sharper expression. You can see that there. Okay. Could you tell us about Augusta and Yuno, who appear in the latest version released on August 28th? This is the first time we've revealed detailed game settings for Augusta and Yuno, but I'd like to talk about them. Augusta and Yuno embody the idea that both beings where the sun and the moon shine together. So I always thought of them being side by side. If either of them were inferior, the concept wouldn't work. They are both rebels against fate, but their methods are different. The production emphasizes the elements of the sun and the moon and expresses the image of the sun and the moon alternating in the sky. Okay. Thank you. Let's start with Augusta. Augusta is a heroic queen, who wields her sword for the gods. She believes in the potential of humans with a well-trained body, particularly those thighs, and will She embodies that. Her appearance is the sun of hope, inspiring everyone to believe that they too could become like her. In combat, Augusta symbolizes the sun, representing power and royal authority. She fights with a great sword forged through her resonance ability and by accompanying Griffex, the griffin thing. She further strengthens the symbolism of the 7 hills of Septimont. When she is released, each swing of the sword casing represents the people's trust in their queen, and her attacks become even more valiant. I'd like to ask about the costume design, which is reminiscent of ancient Rome. The costume design based on the governor of Septimont, 7 Hills, is based on gold and orange. It is based on the crown symbolizing the sun, large wavy orange hair, and the ancient Roman-style armor, but also incorporates futuristic elements. The armor on the shoulders and arms has a Roman-style appearance, but with modern texture. The weapon is inspired by the sun and electromagnetic force, and is an oversized sword that combines multiple weapons. Next, please talk about Yuno. Let's hear about Yuno. Yuno is someone who defines her own destiny. She thoroughly embraces the gifts she has been given, and rather than aiming at targets determined by others, she sets her own targets and hits them 100%. In combat, Yuno symbolizes the moon, endowed with grace and divinity. Her giant moon ring reflects the moonlight like a mirror, and her appearance dancing with its reflection is fantastical. The moon ring transforms into a bow, and she dances lightly through the air, striking an opening in the enemy's path. The costume design is based on the moon, with the ends of her hair curled into a crescent shape, with the white moonlight highlights and star stippling. Star stippling? What's that? Stars shining inside. The blue and white color scheme represent the moon floating in the night sky. The costume design is easy to move in. In keeping with her agile character. Here we're talking about Chisa. Wait, hang on a sec. Yeah, Chisa. They're saying Chisaki here. It's just Chisa. Chisa's character portrait has been released, and while it does have a similar feel to Carthea, it also has a taste of PGR and Kuro Games. Where does this originate from? So talking about Chisa here. Our underlying philosophy is grounded in reality, perfecting fantasy. Let me see if that is... Well, not really perfecting, but like going to the extreme of fantasy. Like saying grounded in reality, but going to the extreme of fantasy. Rather than complete realism, we incorporate fantastical elements without straying too far from realistic logic. We value the balance between reality and fantasy, aiming to create characters that players will find comfortable. We will continue to actively create attractive designs that will be loved by fans. Fans. I don't know why I struggled over that word there. Very simple word. Can we ask you about Chisa? Chisa is a classic character with an classically designed character with an extraordinary core. Her typical high school attire, such as her sailor uniform, knee-high socks, school shoes, and straight black hair cut into a hime cut, give her a fundamental charm. Meanwhile, elements such as her red eyes, the dangerous-looking electronic collar. Let me see. Collar. It's like talking about the this collar here. So it looks they're saying it's electronic. Don't know what that means, but they're saying electronic. I'm just saying that's what they're saying. Don't know if it's a hint of anything. Bandages and giant scissors symbolize the extraordinary and highlight the hidden story and mystery behind her. Her background will be further revealed in the sequel in following updates, so please look forward to that. Yeah, she's going to make so much money in Japan, just Japan alone. Wuthering Waves has been well received for its user-friendly management policy, but could you tell us how quickly you respond to feedback? In fact, we began preparations for version 2.0 even before the official launch of Wuthering Waves. However, subsequent testing and feedback from players after release required significant revisions. As a result, it took a long time, roughly a year and a half, from early preparations to release. On the flip side, rapid updates are also a testament to the team's growth. While we faced many challenges in the early stages of service, though repeated trial and error, we were through repeated trial and error, we were able to create a more robust feedback system and improve our internal production pipeline. And most importantly, I believe we have gained deeper understanding of how to deliver engaging content that exceeds player expectations. As a title, we plan to operate over the long term. Simply achieving stability is not enough. Our unwavering goal is to consistently deliver experiences that exceed player expectations. While you produce content at a rapid development speed, you also emphasize your commitment to delivering high quality experience, even if it's just for 3 minutes. Aren't these two things contradictory? First of all, we strongly sympathize with this way of thinking. Even if players only log in for 3 minutes each day, we're going to do dailies, I'm guessing, we believe it's perfectly natural and correct to make those 3 minutes a high quality experience. Furthermore, the game market is always subject to fierce competition over the long term. Rather than thinking about how to tie players to a game in the short term, focusing on how to provide a valuable experience even in a short playtime will ultimately result in a title that will be loved for a long time. This is what we believe. To develop Wuthering Waves into a healthy title that will continue for 5, 10, or even 20 years, the most important thing is how much we can enrich the daily experiences of players. First of all, I do not think this game should continue for 20 years. In fact, I would argue that they shouldn't. If anything, I would argue that they should probably start wrapping things up after about 5 or 6 years. Personally, I don't know. Again, wrap it up when the story comes to a natural conclusion. Do not, for the love of God, stretch it out over more than that, because it'll tire me the fuck out. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Please, for the love of God, do not do that. Like, that's one of the reasons why, and maybe you guys can disagree with me on this. That's one of the reasons why I'm not even going to bother watching or starting or reading One Piece. Like, how many chapters One Piece are there? 1,139 chapters. At the very least. Right. If you can't wrap up a story in like 1,139 chapters, you're doing something wrong. Fuck me. Tie that shit up. Like, Jesus Christ. Nah. I wouldn't say trash, but no, I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's great for those that enjoy it, but like, holy fuck. Like, who's read a webtoon, manga, manhwa, whatever you want to call it, of like How to Fight? I think the English title is Viral Hit. Has anyone read this? This one here? Right. I was reading this. I really enjoyed it. Until, I don't remember what chapter it was, but like, there's a certain point in the story. It was like, okay, he's beat the bad guy's done. Okay, his arc is done. Let's go. Let's wrap this up. Roll into the like let's get to the epilogue, shall we? No, there's a bit of a time jump. We get a new character, which is just basically essentially the original character before he made his glow up and became strong, and he's like being trained by the main. Fuck me, no. The story was finished ages ago. Do I read Kanokari? No, I dropped that a long time ago. Similar to Lookism, I'm not even bothered with Lookism. I've heard terrible things about that. Yeah, a lot of the in fact, I'm not going to say manhwa, I'm going to say stories, like a lot of manga do this as well. They just continue on way too fucking long. Yeah, Runa, I'm sure. I'm just saying, if I would not enjoy the story if it continued on for 20 years. Please, for the love of God, make sure it doesn't. I think they should set an aim. If they just have an open end for the story, nah. Have a goal that we are working slowly towards. Because if the goal's just ambiguous and like, I don't know, it's just not interesting to me. I'd like to feel the progression to that end, you know? Just personally. Chinese web novels with 3,000 chapters? Yeah, Chinese web novels are even worse. PGI is 10 years, Wuthering Waves is 5 years. That's their goal for now. Again, just keep the story, have your end goal, work towards the end goal. Do not milk it longer than it needs to be, because that's when things start to like really get shit. Okay, I've read that part. Taking on a challenge doesn't always result in positive reactions. Sometimes it's accompanied by negative feedback. How does the team overcome pressure and maintain its strength in such circumstances? Okay. Hot take. They've already failed in that. I'm sorry, but they did. Kuro Games had a vision for what they wanted for the game. We saw that vision of what they wanted to go for. And they already caved to pressure from mainly CN to change pretty much fucking everything. I'm going to go on the record and say I just recently watched the CBT1 version of Wuthering Waves. I enjoyed that version of the story a lot more. I'm not talking about the fetch quests. I'm just talking about the way the story was presented and the way the story was. The characters in there, I prefer that a lot more. It wasn't CN's fault mostly. I'm not saying mostly. It was like, I do think a lot of the biggest voices came from CN. Closed Beta 1 version of Wuthering Waves was, okay, how about we do this? Maybe not for today, but like, let's do this on another stream. Let's just all get together and we can watch the original closed beta test 1 version of Wuthering Waves, and we can point out what we like and what we don't like. I would love to do that, because I title it like, this is the game that Kuro Games wanted to make. This is the Wuthering Waves that Kuro Games wanted to make. We'll do that in another stream. Like, it's just like a watch along. We'll just like sit there watching. The rest doesn't make sense. Like, Runa, I'm not saying it's perfect. Again, that's the point of us watching it together. Like, there's going to be like some things that we're going to do together. Not now. We're going to play the 2.6. It's taken a while to get there. I will, by the way, I should have said this at the beginning of the stream. I will put like timestamps of like when I actually start playing 2.6, but I wanted to read through this first. Taking a while, I do apologize. Of course there is pressure. However, our team shares a common understanding that success is difficult and right. In fact, if no new challenges appear for a long time, I think we might feel anxious. Challenges don't just bring difficulties, they also offer opportunities for growth. One is growth through user feedback. We learn that we're good at what we're good at and what we need to improve on. The other is the skill development we gain in the process of resolving challenges. This growth and sense of accomplishment are far more powerful than improved management methods or psychological care. We also have a philosophy: love players, love teams, and love games. This isn't a slogan imposed by the company from above. It's something that our team members have voluntarily adopted. I think it's something we do naturally on a daily basis. Of course, a fair and appropriate return is a prerequisite. Our members hope to improve their lives by pouring their passion into their work and honing their skills. Kuro Games is also systematically working to improve in this area. For example, when Wuthering Waves reached a major milestone in 2024, we provided incentives to all employees. We believe that rewarding returns is what sustains our competitiveness. Towards a multi-production system and KuroFest. Okay. Kuro Games has several titles in the works. So we're talking about new titles here that haven't been released yet. And information on new titles such as Nami and Sun, so we've got 2 new games in the pipes, apparently, is gradually being released. What do you think will be? What do you think will happen in the future? The PC version of Punishing Grey Raven has been released finally and is entering the second playthrough of the story. The global version, second playthrough. Dainishume. Well, it says okay. Yeah. Okay. That's what it says. Dainishume of the story scenario. The global version is also on the way. Wuthering Waves will see the implementation of new characters, Augusta and Yuna, and the climax of the Reinstated chapter is approaching. What is the current status of Nami and Sun, the codenames of which have been released as new projects? Same meaning, really. Kuro Games currently has several new projects underway. Can I say that word correctly? Apparently not. Mira, how you been? I've not seen... You know, Mira... Right, sorry, guys. Mira, I was just thinking about you the other day. I know it sounds really weird, but I was actually thinking, I've not seen Mira in a while. How's she been? And the reason why I thought that is because I went to... I do apologize. I do apologize. This is from our previous conversation. I do not mean this to sound racist. Like, you know, we were talking about momos before. I went to my local Nepalese curry restaurant, the one I mentioned before. Had some momos. I was thinking, I wonder how Mira's doing. I swear to God, life been a bitch. I can understand. I get it. Just let you know that I have not forgotten about you. I do think about you every now and then. Honestly. I think about a lot of people in my chat. Whether you believe it or not, I do. Sorry. Sorry for that tangent, guys. Just need to say hello to Mira. One of my favorite people. Not even lying. Okay, back to back to this. What the hell is a momo? Oh, crap. Fuck, here we go. Basically, it's like kind of dumpling type thing. Imagine like a Nepalese Chinese dumpling. Not the same thing, but it's like I think it's like very closely related. Yeah, very refreshing. Very refreshing. I recommend it. Anyway, like a soup dumpling, not always in soup. It's delicious. Get some. Where was I? Oh yeah. Nami was released to the public at a relatively early stage, so it's garnering a lot of attention and expectations, but it's actually in the mid to early stages of development. It's not yet at a level where it can be unveiled to users. There's nothing we can say about Sun at this stage. The next title aims to break out of Kuro Games' current comfort zone and provide an unprecedented experience and a new direction in the action genre. It's planned to be a high-quality game that is set apart from the previous Kuro Games titles and make users cheer. Could you give us an overview on what kind of game Nami is? This one, I'm actually interested in this. Is this a poster for Nami? Okay. Recently, the first recruitment images were released in China. That's probably why I haven't seen it. These have already been released, so I think this will give you a sense of the atmosphere of the title from the background. Communist? I'm guessing this is a communist game. I'm only half joking. Rona? I appreciate everyone. I appreciate Ayumu, Zol, Zodrag, Ronora, Editor, Runa, Redza, just everyone. I'm not going to say your name because it sounds weird me saying it, but like, my step, you too, but you've got a really interesting name, so I'm not going to say it on stream. I appreciate everyone. I'm not even lying. Communism? No, Mira, like the reason why I like particularly shout out Mira is because like she's been here since like almost the start of like me doing streaming, so that's why she's like got a special place for me. This is a translation apparently. Nami is an action multiplayer online RPG, so they're making an MMO. Developed with Unreal Engine 5, it will be available worldwide and on all platforms. They say all platforms, but the last time they said all platforms, it just ended up being mobile and PC. Just saying. So whether they have it on PlayStation is a different conversation. The story begins, and a flame is born. She was born in an age of fantasy. An age of machines and magic. Original IP, okay. Exposed gears, rune armor, and gigantic energy-powered weapons. Divided mountains and rivers, sinking earth, and shadows that even magic cannot escape. As the flame flickers and is about to die out, the light of the flame is bestowed upon chosen heroes. This is an age in which heroes emerge one after another. They are diverse in personality and physique, with unique three-dimensional combat and maneuvering methods. They are drawn to each other, gradually come together and face one powerful enemy after another. Amid this Kuro Fest was held in August 9th, 2025. Why did you decide to hold such a large-scale event? What games am I playing recently these days? I'm playing mainly, well, a lot of them that you've probably seen me play before. Fate Grand Order, not really playing Fate Grand Order, just logging in. Fate Grand Order, Path to Nowhere, Zenless Zone Zero, Zenless Zone Zero logins, Wuthering Waves, 2 accounts, Arc Knights, and what else? And besides gacha games, I've been playing a lot of 40k. Dawn of War 40k. I love that game. I've already played through the entirety of Age of Mythology, like the remastered version. Retold version, should I say. The usual roster? Well, for gacha games, yes. No Genshin, though, Mira. I'll just be... Okay, future... I'll be honest, this is just saying a lot of nothing. Right, so I think that's it. For the Emperor! Blood for the Blood God. Wow! Yeah. Your promise with the ZZZ video? What promise with the ZZZ video? Cairo? What promise? Why not Genshin? I dropped that at the beginning of this year after I pulled Mavrika and what's-her-face, the other character that was on her banner. I pulled them and like logged out and uninstalled. I was like, I'm done. Although I would say Nodcry looks interesting, but like, geez, like running through, like just exploring, like handling a character in that world will feel so fucking slow. Right, no. There's a reason why I was stuck in this frame, on this. There's a reason. It's completely innocent. There's an innocent reason why I'm. Let's just get out of that. Right. So I am currently on my main account here at this location. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my other account and do all the stuff up to that point, and then go back onto my main account because I want to finish it on my main account first. Whew, an hour and a half to get through that. Holy fuck. Let's just go to that, really. Don't want to show you guys what my login is, do I? Can't trust none of you. Especially you, Deuce Guy. Right. Finally, game time. Holy shit. Took me a while. Volume mixer. Let's turn the sound on. Right. Ooh. I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that right now. Oh, fuck. Do I need to do this? I haven't done the overture on this. Fuck's sake. Do I need to do it? I do need to do it as well. I forgot. I ain't doing the overture quest again. Can you just skip all this? I can't remember. Can you just skip the entire overture quest? Ah, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Nah. Fuck me. I'm not doing that. What we'll do though, we'll do it another way. I'll get Rubhen. Shut up. I'll get Rubhen, we'll just watch it up to that point. I'm not doing the fucking overture quest again. That, like I said, that was ass. Like, the story itself was fine, but going through the selection thing was so fucking boring. It'll take like another, whatever, how long it takes to do that. I'm not doing it. I'm just logging in, getting ready. Turn that off. Shut up. I'm going to watch it up to the point where I am in on my main account, and then we're just going to do that. Right. It won't take that long. So there we go. Let's just watch this together, shall we? Yeah, go. Just go. Okay, here's the story. I've got my own version of a skip button as well with the left and right arrow keys.
Sure is a beautiful day. So, any news from the F4 rover? Or are we still chilling like we've been for the past few days?
Good day, Sir Rover.
I'm seeing my stutters here.
I am Damien, an attendant in service to the F4's palace. By direct command, I have come to deliver you Her Excellency's personal letter. It concerns a matter of utmost importance.
Me and my big mouth. Hey, what does it say? Scooch up a bit.
I'm going to say something after this in a minute,
It says
and you're going
Augusta
to
is
hate me
taking care
again.
of everything on her end. She's ready to meet us at the F4's palace as agreed. It's most likely something to do with the hunt. We shouldn't keep the F4 waiting. Time to go, Abby.
Oh, you mean now? Well, I'll think I'll sit this one out and leave all the heavy stuff to you guys.
What was the fucking point of Abby? Like, not even kidding. Chat is frozen on... yeah, it's frozen on my side as well, by the way. I don't know why. Like, what... Maybe it should work now. Abby isn't Paimon? Right. Unusual echo. I would like to... Please... What did Abby just do? What did Abby just do in this section here? Complained about something, added nothing to our conversation. The actual quest started with the letter being delivered, and we read that. It's like, what does it say? And we read it, which we were going to do anyway. Literally Paimoning right now. Like this interaction here again. This is not the first time either. This has happened several times. I'm sorry, guys, but like, Abby was not this bad in the beginning. I actually quite liked Abby a lot. But like, completely fucking useless. And my argument is, if they're useless, get rid of them. Fuck me.
Chat for as long as you like. Just give me a holler if you need me.
He just eats now and talks about money and says, "What's that?" Useless. Absolute Paimon. I'm not even kidding. Just not as annoying, not as prominent as Paimon. That's the only saving grace. But their role in the story, so far, Paimon.
The F4's palace is just ahead.
Gently does it?
Yes, absolute waves. That's exactly what the problem is. Abby has a lot of screen time in this MSQ. I hope they have a fucking point. That's what I'm looking for. I want them to have a point. That's all I want. I'm not saying get rid of them. I'm saying if there's no point, then get rid of them. If they have a point, fine. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And people always misunderstand that point. My argument. This is such a cool ass scene. Like, this is badass. Havoc Rover looks so damn cool every time it comes out. Like just the sights will always look cool. I really wish we could like swap between
Impressive.
different types on the fly. The problem would be echoes
I
though.
expected a challenge, but your performance far exceeds what I had imagined.
I'm high school and these cutscenes are unnecessary.
Just as I thought. Watching from the Colosseum's balcony is no way to understand a warrior's true spirit. Only by crossing blades
High school.
can I feel the will to fight pulsing through your veins. Come, step closer. Laureate of Raguna, champion of Septimont, favored gladiator of Arsinosa. By the honor of these titans, it is only right you stand by my side. I, Augusta, Ephor of Septimont, offer you my highest esteem. Simple and efficient.
Whatever you say, my
No
F4.
need for pleasantries. Here we let our blades do the talking. The Septimont way. I have no doubt that you and I will have plenty of
seem like
opportunities to
really
get acquainted.
slow.
But that's not why I called you here today. On my behalf, and that of the Ephor's Palace, I extend my deepest apologies for failing to keep our appointment. I hope this delay hasn't dampened your enthusiasm for the hunt. Tolerant and strong, just as I've heard. Virtues of a true hero. Well then, seeing that your interest still holds, shall
Guys,
we
can you hear
discuss
some like
it?
background sound on my microphone right now,
The
even when I'm not
hunt.
speaking?
In Septimont's
Like, I'm seeing stuff on my side of OBS, like something's being picked up and I don't know what it is. I think nothing. Maybe OBS is just being really fucking weird. I don't know what it is. And yeah, why is FPS down to like 10? Something's going on with my system right now and I don't like it. I think it's probably because of like Chrome or something. Actually, I think it is Chrome. I think Chrome's fucking me up. No, I'll show you. I'll show you it. Like, you see that? I don't know what it is. You can curse me? Thanks, Mira. As long as nothing's actually going through, I don't really mind. I just wanted to ask. Just in case. Switch to Brave? Yeah, I know Brave. It doesn't work. It doesn't do all much difference. I've tried. Just real quick, I've seen this part already. I am playing it. I am playing it. It's just like the first part. I was going to play this part again on my other account, but I haven't done the overture quest yet on the other account, so I don't want to go through that again. I just want to go to the part where I've already got 2 on my main account. Then we'll go back to that, and then we're actually going to play. Probably crickets outside. I like the idea that the dark tide, like, actually is a tide, comes back every so on, and it's like something they look forward to in a sense. Not really, but like, you get it.
It's Septimont,
Sorry about
fall
that.
beneath the gladiator's blades. The high
There we go.
tide is upon us, and it will be a storm like no other. My hunting party requires unstoppable warriors. Sacrifices are inevitable, but I believe you will be a banner that stands unbroken, Rover.
I have a question, and this is a really weird question. You know, like you can change your name, and then like they'll just like replace the name in there, like with, instead of saying, they'll say Rover in the actual voice line, but they'll say the name in the. Does anyone actually really enjoy that? Like, I would just prefer if they just didn't allow us to have a name, like to choose a name. Like, choose a name for your account, yes, but like, just call him Rover. I don't care. It doesn't make me feel more immersed or whatever, like whatever. It just make it Rover. You know? This whole like immersion thing, like, oh, you are, just let me play their story. Let me enjoy their story.
I share your sentiment. Septimont takes pride in its many remarkable gladiators. But you are exceptional. A grand hunt awaits us, and my warriors and I long to do battle alongside a fighter such as yourself.
AI for only the character name? Interesting idea.
Of course, the will of the extraordinary deserves to be heard. I'd like to know your thoughts on the matter.
Also, every single choice option
A straightforward
should just be a
answer.
voice line.
I like it. As for this goal of yours, ah, yes. The Journeying Paradise. I've heard that laughable name before. A pity the hunt was made to shatter that little fantasy. As for the Sentinel's
It's really
relic,
eclectic
Go to the
in
Earth
when he
Wedge.
speaks and when he doesn't.
it's
You know?
where the Sentinel Imperator first descended upon the Sanguis Plateaus, and is the epicenter of every hunt to this day. However, due to its significance, not even Septimon's highest officials are permitted near it. But if that is what you wish, say no more. I will make it happen.
Yeah, but we don't get a choice here either. So
The trust I
They should be
place
voiced.
in you stems from your recognition of my character. I admire your honesty, and I will honor it to the fullest. Only those bound by trust can go the distance together. I look forward to the hunt ahead. It honors me to journey by your side.
So many
Patience,
single
my
choice
friends,
options.
is
Lovely.
the first step to becoming a hunter. When the storm rages
Mirror,
in the
exactly, I know, right?
southeast of Septimont,
J Hart, thanks for following.
I will await you at Tempest Cliffs.
Note where FS Pilot will cover your expenses in Septimont. Enjoy peace while it lasts. Okay, then we're just gonna.
I can't eat another bite. That's another full stomach for Abby.
That's another full stomach for Paimon.
Hey, Rover? Look, over there.
That's a storm. Which means it's about time to meet up with Augusta. Tempest Cliffs. I remember that's where she told us to go.
Well,
Yeah, it just sounded kind of like Witcher OST, doesn't it? The music's really good.
Call me when you need me, and I'll be out in a flash.
Is that thing male or female? Yeah, it's Abby. Abby is genderqueer. We've got the LGBTQIA plus DI thing in there with Abby.
This should be the right way.
If you're heading for Tempest Cliffs, head east. This path will take you straight to the Courtyard of Glory.
Oh yeah, this guy's weird. Right. The first thing I noticed about this guy was his earrings, right? Like I've been like looking at every single NPC that turns up in the quests. Like someone's like, I don't trust any of them. And when I saw this, like that looks like a lot like the same feather in the cap of Castor. Is it Castor? Yeah, the guy in the Overture quest, and also by extension, probably Cristoforo. Like that stood out to me like straight up. I've finally been able to say that. Holy shit! I've been like not saying anything on Twitter or whatever because I actually don't know what anyone's saying about this quest. No, I asked if people said it thought it was good or not, and for the most part people said yeah, it's pretty good.
Or perhaps, would you care to travel with me? After all, we share the same destination. Your reputation precedes.
Paranoid of every blonde might be Christopher. Yeah, blonde hair, blue-eyed. Nestor, that's his name. Not Castor. Nestor.
At your service.
Who's Castor? I forgot.
Gladiating and hunting are the very pillars upon which the glory of Septimont stands. I believe no gladiator would refuse such an honor if invited.
Avidius.
I, of course, am no exception. Please, if you'll follow me. Honored guest from
His
afar.
clothes are cool though.
Augusta spoke of the great surge we're about to face.
Lupa wasn't invited?
The F4
Yeah,
speaks the
why
truth.
wasn't Lupa invited?
And this year's high tide has come
What was
later
the
than usual.
reason that
Bodes
Lupa wasn't
ill.
included?
It's a shame even the sharp ears of the Senate could not chisel through the high walls of Tetragon Temple to hear the whispers beyond. Is this an auspice of calamity or a prelude to a new legend? Only time will tell.
Shijibu guy, welcome in. Because devs want to focus on new character? Yeah. The biggest problem in my opinion. Story-wise, anyway. Banner buff, yeah.
Weapons tight. Always be ready for anything.
I like that. I mean, walking through, they stand at attention. That's a nice little detail. Have you done the tower defense mode? No, I haven't really done anything except dailies nowadays. Oh wait, no. On my main account, I 100%ed the entirety of Huanglong and Black Shores now that I have that quality of life there.
Did you hear? This one's serious.
Andre, welcome in.
Almost ready. The pleasure of escorting you to the F4 has been fulfilled. For now, my duty ends here. From here, we march onward to the hunting grounds, where the dark tide's creations may await us. When the time comes, it will be a true pleasure to see your
Lupa's
skills
busy
in
endorsing
action.
many projects after winning the Aegon. Alright. Desert Rock
Happy
was
hunting.
annoying to 100%. Desert Rock was the worst one.
Come, join us, Rover. The horns signal our departure.
This is my first playthrough. Mikoto,
Precisely.
thanks for the follow.
These cliffs mark the opening.
Brain
of our
Hex, welcome in. I'm just watching this on Rubhen's thing to get to the point where I can play. I did this part just so I could unlock the new region so I could get the essential materials for Augusta. To be fair, there's no real gameplay going on, it's just story, which is
Take courage, my friend.
fine.
The path to glory will reveal itself under the feet of the brave.
Mikoto, yeah, I read through the Kuro interview just before starting this. This was cool. I like this little scene. Anything good? A few bits of interesting information in there. The griffins are cool.
Is that?
Oh yeah, this is the dinosaur. Like when I saw this, I thought, oh, they're just going full Monster Hunter now. Like, all right. Why is my nose so itchy? My nose is so damn itchy.
Quickly and swiftly.
Getting restless, oh.
For female rovers, VA has improved a lot since 2.0. I'm just going to say right now that I know some stuff about female rover, the VA for female rover, and she was really hurt about everyone being so critical about her performance in 1 point something. So yeah. I'm sure she's going to be really glad that you guys are liking her performance in recent patches. Yeah. Then do better.
That is a Chorosaurus.
I'm going to say it's a problem of voice direction, not really voice performance. English VA, yes. I would love to see like a bigger version of that dinosaur, like a Belgioclon size, humongous. That was cool. Nice shot.
Now is not the moment. Let it flee. The path it takes leads deeper into the trap we laid.
That's also a cool shot. Right, okay, so this is as far as I got. This is as far as I got. So I'm gonna close this. Why am I'm still running in like shit frames per second. Is it getting any better? Just not really, but as long as the game's smooth enough. Right, so I'll just get sound back up.
That sound.
Oh hell yeah!
It's from Hornet. An echo. It's
Right.
signaling we retire for the day, that's all.
Imagine actually
Augusta,
walking behind
time
these
to
two
bring your
beauties.
party back to the Hunter's Den.
I'm not even joking. Like, holy fuck.
Of course, priestess. Your arrow couldn't have come at a better time.
Mira, you have a potato.
Seeing that Rover is here, I'll take that as a compliment.
Turning down the music. Oh, okay. Rover looking like a third wheel.
Hunter's Den. Busiest gladiator encampment across the Sanguis Plateaus. Nearly every hunter passes through here on their way to the hunting grounds.
Oh, put it on auto.
We will rest here before setting
OBS
off
is
for
like
the
being
next
really
hunt.
laggy.
I must admit, this place is rather magnificent.
Better?
I suppose
Better now?
my predecessors forsook the peace they ought to have enjoyed, just to share this hard-earned
Yo,
land
Zodra, I was just about to say the same thing. Like, why?
Such magnificence is rightly owed to the temple.
Why hasn't he said anything to the F4, or why hasn't the F4 said anything to him, or anything? That was so weird.
The priestess's words are not without merit.
Oh, no,
I
she
am
looked at
well
him.
aware that I stand under blessings and will forever remember the sacrifices of the temple. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be taking my leave.
Okay, she's at. It seems like she's like responding
Though
to
we've
him.
already met, I suppose a proper introduction is in order. I am
Feet.
Yuno, priestess of the Tetragon Temple.
Absolutely gorgeous, by the way. I've heard about you. The priestess get to call the shots. The priestess have the gift of prophecy. I've heard that one, man.
Well, aren't you caught up on things? What you say is true, though I've long since grown tired of such affairs.
Augusta Ayuna?
Come now, Rover. Surely you can find me something more interesting to occupy my time. For instance, the hunt.
Don't make me make
Quite
that
frankly,
choice.
when it comes to dealing with the dark tide, none of these gladiators can hold a candle to me.
Like, they're both very different.
Ha! Look at those looks. I've seen them all before. What can I say? When you're as dazzling as I am, jealousy tends to follow.
That kind of personality would kind of
I'll be making my way back,
annoy me, but it's
Augusta,
like, it's got its own charm.
lest my shine further sting the eyes of certain people. If you find yourself with free time later, consider visiting me at Tetragon Temple. Not every Outlander is granted access to its sacred halls. Make the most of it.
Yeah, absolute flirt.
It's rare to see Yuno hold back like that. You must be someone different to her.
You two seem very close.
Perhaps. We do share some common traits.
And some common beds.
Don't let her unruly
I'll stop making the
side
jokes
fool
now.
you. She is as dependable as they come.
The monster we encountered earlier.
A Chorosaurus. Avidius was correct. It is a tacit discord born from the dark tide. What he didn't have the chance to tell you is that it is the deadliest Chorosaurus of them all. We call it Tyrannos.
The king.
A vanguard of the dark tide that rides its surge to reach our lands. The Threnodians' attempt to plague Septimont never came to fruition. But do not mistake that for victory. Our enemy will not bow so easily. The Dark Tide, immortal and indestructible, carries out the will of its creator, the Threnodian Leviathan. Only the Earthrend Wedge, that bears Sentinel Imperator's power, can sever the link between the Dark Tide and the Threnodian.
When you can choose
burying the
Korosaurus,
Calamity deep
you've got some
beneath the Sanguis plateaus.
fetishes there, my friend.
The hunt is how
This
we
art is
disrupt
cool.
The Dark Tide's frequencies by capturing and eliminating its creatures.
The fuck? Can we get like an actual gallery of all this stuff? Because this is cool art.
However, the Earthrend Wedge's energy range is limited. Our mission is to deliver a true death to our prey.
Meaning we need to hunt and kill the beast near the Earthrender. Is that how we stop the Dark Tide from spreading?
Yes, and it must be done within Maroonwood. This confrontation with Tyrannos was expected, but it's not a fight anyone is eager to face. That beast is well aware of our plan. It's no mere prey. In many ways, it's a cunning hunter itself.
What's the plan for now?
We wait. We wait for it to enter Maroonwood. The real hunt begins when the beast's hunger drives it to the wilds.
Your Excellency, the Senators request your presence in the main tent. It's to discuss plans for the hunting operation.
Looks like I'll be occupied for a while. Relax. Take a walk around camp. The Hornet's blare will sound our next departure. It's a sound that can be heard across the canyons. You won't miss it.
Okay. Last time we had whispers, it was like influences of the Thenodian, because whispering into Fenrico's ear and whispering into the head of the Thessalias. So every time it's whispers, it's usually the Thenodian, right?
Side of unprecedented scale. The high tide of unprecedented scale. Could this be the one in the prophecy? The harbinger of Septimont's doom.
The high tide is a high tide. Every hunt is a gamble with our lives, no matter the size. Just keep your blade sharp. Whatever comes, we cut it down. Don't overthink it.
Okay.
Did you hear about Avidius and the Senate? Did you hear about Avidius and the Senate?
The power struggle. Nothing new. But going up against Augusta is a steep hill to climb.
Is that why they didn't speak to each other
Without
before?
a strong forte, Augusta's strength was always going to have limits. She lacks the extraordinary
But right when you enter the
power
temple?
mentioned in the prophecies.
Got it.
Hard to compare her with a hero of heroes of the past.
I wouldn't put it like that. Knowing how Augusta operates, Avidius would even have risen to prominence if she hadn't allowed it. That kind of grace is the mark of a real ruler.
You mentioned visiting her at Tetragon Temple. Got a bit of free time. Might as well pay her a visit.
Alright. I made a promise. I keep my promises. Set up smooth, apparently. I'm just going to do it to ultra performance just for the sake of... Oh, see? Oh, well, that's because I'm in the menu right now. Frame it to 60 at least. Holy fuck. Motion blur off. Blue on. Crowd density on. Hit flash. Dark numbers off. On. Don't really need that. Yeah. Alright, and also... Is it better now? Is it oh, okay, FPS is a little bit better. Okay, music. I'll take that to like say 60. Oh, I'm getting this. What's that? I'm getting like a graphical thing. I don't know what it is. Can you see that? You can't. No, you can't see it on the stream. But it's really noticeable on mine. It's VSync. That's it. VSync was the problem. Yeah, it was okay on the stream end, but it was like on mine. I could see this like splitting, tearing. That's the word. Sorry. Thank you. A booklet lies before the murals, recording the faint inscriptions carved beneath them. Empty wall. It's only waits for the tides of fate to leave damp traces on its parched shore. A book. Okay, yeah. Heed me, of Septimont, that of the heavens has, should be, again, then be the fate that awaits Septimont. Alright. Empty wall. Alright, nothing. This is should be looking at a large one now. Blooded Old King. You don't fully understand what this means, but your intuition tells you it's significant. A booklet lies before the murals, recording the faint inscriptions carved beneath them. Only the hero of heroes, of extraordinary power, risen from the dark tide, shall bring eternity to Septimont. Then shall the waters quiet, the tempest still, and glory return with the blood of the old king. You notice the murals. I've read that part. Okay, cool.
Konnichiwa, 漂白者殿。どうやらお互いテトラゴン神殿の壁画に深い興味があるようですね。
These murals.
歴代のサトシの女の作品です。彼女たちが聖火の中から垣間見た予言、すでに起きたこと、そしてこれから起きることを描いています。つまりこの壁画は2つの重要な予言を掲示しているのです。一つはかつてラグーナの民が最終信仰をめぐる争いで受けた呪いのような予言。聞きなさい、セブンヒルズの信仰心なき者よ。皇天の神は怒り狂っている。セブンヒルズの王が再び神の意志に背けば滅びゆく定めにある。
There will.
もう一つはまさにサトシの女たちがラグーナの民の予言に続けて語ったものです。ただならぬ力を持ち、黒き波から誕生した英雄王だけがセブンヒルズを永遠の地にできる。英雄王は荒立つ暗流と波風を落ち着かせ、旧王の血をもって最上の栄光を体感する。この壁画に特に関心をお持ちのようですね。これはいつの日かセブンヒルズに降りかかる最悪を描いています。これまで通り、
This is a very common kind of prophecy.
を変える英雄王が我々の中から現れるでしょう。
Not skipping. Why change to Japanese? I got asked to.
その英雄王の正体について我々は何も知りません。そして偶然にも壁画の欠けた部分のように厄災に抵抗する戦いの結果もまた空白なのです。サトシの女たちは来たる運命を垣間見ることができなかったのか、それとも人々が知るべきではないと考え伏せたのか。 この問題は考えさせられますね。
あらあら、次期英雄王候補ともあろうお方が白チュームを見ているの？空白の壁を見つめながら自分の勇姿が刻まれる日のことでも想像してるのかしら。
Oh, she's got like the ohime
少しお相手していただいたのです。
speech pattern down.
私のような取るに足らない存在をユウノ様が気に留める必要などありません。
取るに足らない存在？あなたは元老院のお気に入りでしょ？知らない者はいないわよ。あのじいさんたち、私には冷たいくせにあなたには随分と目をかけてるじゃない。
You know? Donation war. Yep.
いつ来てたの？
Donate and I'll change.
こいつに先を越されるなんてありえないわ。
英雄を敬うのは人の常です。ユウノ様が私に腹を立てる必要などありましょうか？
あなたの企みはお見通しよ。漂白者が味方につくと思ってる？要は狩りの名目でティラノスと黒潮を先
She
に
does have a very well. She looks like being tossed like a Ishtar version of that.
って証明するつもりなんでしょう。マネスの底を4度も踏破してオークリーフの勲章を賜ったからってオーガスタの地位を奪えるとでも？
One second. Right. So I just wanted to check that. Main steep homeleaf battle?
今は説明してる場合じゃないからどこかで話すわ。
お二人には伝えておきましょう。私が権力を求める野心家であることは否定しません。ですが私には
The JP is very different to the English on that
守
one.
る使命があります。
Right, no, wait.
今は説明してる場合じゃないからどこかで話すわ。
Right, in English she sounds a lot more snippy, whereas in Japanese she didn't say that at all. What she said was like, I can't explain right here, right now. I'll explain another time. Whatever.
だからこそ英雄王の座につき、次なる最悪、滅びの運命を退けたいのです。テトラゴン神殿の予言に従って。
あなたね。
What if Augusta is the true hero of heroes?
あの方は英雄王にふさわしい品格を備えています。ただ、予言にあるただならぬ力を持っていません。オーガスタ様の強さは本物ですが、共鳴能力は人並みです。しかし、歴代の英雄王は皆、卓越した才能の持ち主でした。
So what are his
彼女
extraordinary
には
gifts?
金を振るう力こそありますが、偉大な共鳴者のように、尽きぬ痛みと長い歳月に耐えうることはできないでしょう。残念ながら、予言によって築かれたセブンヒルズにおいて、オーガスタ様は例外的存在。ユウノ様にお約束します。私は決して陰でことを起こしたりはしません。
I would love to see him fight
堂々と
Augusta.
した挑戦を望むのであれば、私は相応の敬意を払いましょう。では、そろそろ失礼します。そうでした。最後に一つ。今回の資料で、我々は神王の誕生を目撃できるかもしれません。
Augusta would eat him?
見ての通りのやつよ。せっかく2人の時間ができたのにこんなことでしらけるなんてね。
That's a cute expression.
元老院の連中は権力を奪おうにもオーガスタ相手に勝ち目はないはずだ。なのに
Probably, Mira. Probably.
オーガスタが総督の座についた途端好き放題し始めたからよ。闘技大会の腐敗を正す動きでじいさんたちの機嫌が特に悪くなったわ。オーガスタは気にする素振りすら見せてないけどね。当然いろんな横槍が飛んできたわ。 闘技の根幹を揺るがすとかなんとか。まあ自分たちの小遣い稼ぎを邪魔されてごねてるだけよ。それより問題なのは、この状況をあのバカ本人が望んでるのよ。あいつ、民はセブンヒルズに忠誠を誓えばよい、世に忠誠を誓う必要はないなんて言うのよ。それに平然と言ってたわ。強いグラディエーターが総督の座を目指すほど意味が出てくるからいいんだとか。まったく私よりわがままね。
What? The word in Japanese was used there was wagamama, meaning selfish, not stubborn. But, alright. Are you worried about Augusta's capabilities?
そんな心配するわけないわ。あなたもオーガスタの体験は見たでしょ。剣についてるムクロは彼女が無数のグラディエーターを倒して征服した戦利品なの。アビディウス程度の優れた共鳴能力を持つやつくらい何人も倒してるわよ。
She eats for breakfast.
そういえばアビディウスの様子が少し引っかかったわ。立場とか関係なくどこか不気味に見えるっていうか。
Something about him feels unnatural.
ただの考えすぎならいいんだけど。クリフェックスが来たわ。どうやら獲物が動き出したみたいね。また会いましょう。あなたの興味、次こそ私にだけ向けてもらうから。
Okay.
あの人、こっちを見てるのか。
That's a fantastic design for an NPC.
挨拶しに行こう。
That's a fantastic design for an NPC. Okay. That's a great design for an NPC. What the fuck? Nice. Are they all designed like that? No. Kind of She's alright, I guess. Maybe it's just a hat. Hag? So?
漂白する英雄よ。お待ちしておりました。お見せください。広い空白。人知の及ばぬ運命。若者よ。憂う必要はありません。空白は無を意味するわけではないのです。導きに従ってお進みください。必ずや無限の可能性へいざない、未だ手の及ばぬ悲願が霧を抜けた先で待っているでしょう。
Not sure I follow. Fixed on the blazing flames, her mind seemingly far away, lost in another realm. Yeah, Jinshi's grammar's a lot better, admittedly. A lot better.
ちょうどいいわ。そろそろ体を動かしましょう。
Graphics are really cool.
漂白者リリベルのおばあちゃんと何を話してるのかしら。まあいいわ、後で聞けば。アクイラ、お願いね。
Find you one? Sure. Let me get back to you on that. Yeah, the flight on that was a little shoddy, I'll be honest. Nice.
栄光の地の英霊たちよ、私の祈りに応えなさい。
It's a cool ass shot.
燃え盛る聖火よ、すべてを見通す目を与えたまえ。
Light the towers.
出発の合図だ。オーガスタを探そう。
Okay. Well, that's a cool looking gladiator. She pulled the arrow from her forte. Put it that way.
あの高い崖の後ろに最終インペラトルが残したうがちのくさびがある。この土地と同じくらい古い歴史を持つ。そこが今回の終着点となるだろう。そして与とお主が共に目指す場所でもある。
What's this?
うがちのくさびから生まれし黒い石で作られた。
Sure, if I get a donation.
うがちのくさびの残りがを帯びている。身を守ってくれるほどの力はない。黒潮や造物を一時的に退ける助けにはなるだろう。後ほどマルーンウッドカリバの3つの場所にアンカーストーンを打ち込むのだ。アンカーストーンが生み出す特殊な磁場を利用し、獲物をさらに仮想なアスポデロスの野へ追いやる。
Not much. Couple of dollars.
アスポデロスの花が咲き乱れる野原は仮想区域の中でも安全な方だ。うがちのくさびの新婚と近い高さにある。あの栄光の場所でティラノスに相応の死を与えよう。
Mira, how about you donate $100? Why not? You can do that. The black fog.
これは黒潮の先駆け、ティラノスの印。どうやらなかなか騒がしい獲物に当たったようだな。マルーンウッドカリバは崖の向こう側にある。我々がグリフェックスか何かで空路を行くと読み、深淵へ引きずり込むために待ち伏せをしているのだろう。コロサウルスの分際で巧みに罠を仕掛け、狩人が網にかかるのを待つと、実に面白い。諸君らよ、世と共に歩いて狩り場へ向かうのだ。聖火の炎で決意の火を灯せ。そしてセブンヒルズにあだなす者へ知らしめよ。
200? Sure, if you wanna like You okay, Augusta?
行くぞ。
Cross through Riftblood Pass, continue forward. Oh, I've got like a fixed
前方の様子がおかしい。
fixed camera angle now.
警戒を怠る。
Be on your guard, everyone.
世に続け。
Ah,
なかなかの実力だ。
okay. Yeah, Mira, I know that feeling. I didn't get a chance to that.
栄光は世が守る。そこに。
Ah, fine.
Getting excited, are we, Tyranno?
Watch out for those molten rocks. Use the pillars for cover. Move!
There you go. I know. I'm too kind.
Cunning bastard.
Everyone under the ledge, now!
Oh, we're almost at Haunting.
Victory is still far from reach. We're not in the clear yet.
I like this change in different camera angles to get different shots. It kind of reminds me of that Ling Yang thing as well. Like they should do this more often.
Rocks above!
I donate my love and support.
This path will take us to the far
Tacit discords.
I hate when that happens. Like they're in the middle of saying something, but it's like
just in time. My swords had enough of waiting.
the story like cuts it off.
Silence!
So annoying.
Undying glory! Stay behind me. Honor cannot be sullied.
Such carnage.
Okay.
These tricks do not surprise me. Avidius,
Modify better.
take a response team and get that anchor obelisk
I think both
functioning.
work.
Rover and I will provide cover.
As you command, Your Excellency.
Is it just me? Like some of Augusta's attack animations remind me of Crimson Weave. Like the hole there, and releasing that reminds me of Crimson Weave. Same thing for her ult animation as well. Not the part. Just the quick attack, and then this part here reminds me of Crimson Weave.
Avidius' team should be almost done, Augusta. I'll head over to join them.
Of course. See that it's done.
Your aid couldn't have come at a better time. We were just about to insert the anchor stone into the obelisk.
Okay. I'm not pressing it. Does anything happen if you don't press it? No? Oh, you just have to hold it. I mean, it's a lot better. Like actually working. All right, no. Pathetic. That's over exaggeration. Not pathetic. I'm just kidding. But like still.
Excellent work, all.
Ooh. Are we gonna fight it or no?
Inside these hunting grounds, the hunter can become the hunted at a moment's
I
notice.
think we should probably have a little fight there. I'll be quite honest.
Think that beast is running away. Just a trick to throw us off. Let Augusta humor its little performance. Beasts who think they've won are always the first to die. Let her handle the Chorosaurus for now. We have more important matters to take care of. Oh, surprised to see me? I've already shared my interest with you. It wouldn't kill you to remember a few things I've said, would it? But fine. Since it's you, I suppose I can let you in on the secret. The Chorosaurus is just an appetizer. I've got bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
The next anchor obelisk is on the other side of the plateau. Ah. Impeccable timing, my dear priest.
Wing rays are here too, huh?
Does that surprise you? Augusta and I have
She can
prepared it
fry you
all
anytime.
well in advance. Ride the winds and let's soar over these cliffs together.
Yeah, she just sounded different, but like, it's alright.
We've lost sight of Augusta and the Chorosaurus. Let me see your terminal, Rover.
You all down bad for her? I mean, like, honestly though, who wouldn't?
There.
What for?
Try using the sensor.
Okay. Thank you, Runa. I really greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. You wouldn't, Mira? You are lying. These are traces of the dark tide.
You catch on quickly.
You find Yuna kind of cringe?
My resonance
I get it.
power can reveal hidden traces of the dark tide for a short time. With these markings, be it Tyrannos or Tyran whatever, nothing can escape my eyes.
Bitex, welcome in, man.
Yes, you're not wrong.
For JP,
but the
but
beast also has its
okay.
eye on them. A sly enemy like this won't play by the usual rules. The more cautious we are, the better. Ha! So it is heading for that cave. The second obelisk is also in that direction. Come, let's go have a little fun with our friend.
I wish I had a donation war, Mira. I need someone on the EN side to start dropping money to have me like donate and switch back from part to part. Ah, sensor. Yeah, how many times they speak to each other when Rover's there?
ここよ。洞窟を抜けた先に2つ目のアンカーオベリスクがあるわ。
残像にご注意を。
まずは自分の心配でもしたらどう？足を引っ張らないでよ。次期英雄を候補。
See, Runa, this is what I was saying. Like, when I don't play in English, people start to leave. Like, I'm fine enjoying this in both English and Japanese, you know? I really want to fight that.
どうやってここまで来たのよ。下に空間があるわ。行きましょう。4人。落石に気をつけなさい。
Ah. Remaining winning ways for 3 to 5 years? Probably not. True.
Augusta.
It's easier to hear than read, yeah. Oh, wait, hang on.
すぐにでもコロサウルスは戻ってくる。まずはここを離れよう。
What are they counting? Right. I wanna fight! Nah. Oh, thank God! An actual failed QTE. Let's go. Wait. Hang on. No. Fake out. It didn't actually fail. It just continued on to the next area. I didn't actually ruin it. I continued on to the second area. Like it wasn't actually. You get a fail animation, which is cool.
引っ張り落として。
世に続け。栄光は世が守る。手はずは整っている。
聞いてみよう。
Does her shield not get any larger than that tiny little sliver? How do you make the shield bigger? Yeah, I did ask for that and I got it, so I'm glad. The shield is just there to proc the set, then it's fucking useless. Like, you might as well just not have it in the first place. Oh, this is... yeah. Here we go again? Wait, what? Why? What happened? I like this, but do it entirely next time. Do what entirely? Sorry.
あの方向は最後のアンカーポイントを狙うつもりか。なかなかが。
霧は。お気をつけください。罠を警戒して慎重に進みましょ
う。だがアビデウス、面白い挑戦ではないか。用心するのだ。
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
思い知らせてやる。グラディエーターの刃は常に研ぎ澄まされていることを。征服を始める。
Yeah, QT really should actually make a fucking difference. Gotcha smack one? What do you, wait, what happened? can't see nothing? What do you mean? Complaining her sick and strong? I was talking about the kit, as in like the shield. Like. Why so dark? I like the contrast. Unk Smack want a drama?
やるじゃない。やっぱり私の目に狂いはなかったわ。
現れたね。
Can I fight you finally, please? Oh, something. Wait, there's something up there. Ooh.
Augusta, ティラノスは野原の方へ行ったわよ。
今こそ仕掛けた網を使う時。
I don't know anything about the Gacha Smack stuff. This place. This is very Elden Ring-esque, no? Is it just me?
ここはティラノスが生まれた場所。あいつが誇る残酷な王国なのよ。今までの狩りはこの場所で最後の決戦を迎えたわ。グラディエーターたちはあらゆる手段で黒潮の造物をアスポデロスの野に追い込むの。黒潮の造物も同じようにあの手この手で追跡者をここまで誘い込む。生と死を争う平等な戦い。どちらが狩人でどちらが獲物なのかは終わってから分かること。
英雄王アティリウスの末裔にしてマネスの底を4度踏破した勲章を持つアウィデウスよ。貴様は渇望しているのだろう、権力を。だが世の相手を務めるには覚悟が足りぬ。さあこちらへ来るのだ。世のそばで欲望の赴くままに追うがよい。もっともっと野心の炎を燃え上がらせよ。
仰せのままに総督。
Finally gonna fight this. Let's go. I'm looking forward to this one.
ようやく少しは退屈せずに済みそうね。漂白者、あなたはおとなしく私と休んでなさい。今のところオーガスタとグラディエーターの問題に横やりを入れる必要はないわ。
指示
英雄王？
手はずは整っている。
A lot easier than I thought. The stun didn't last too long, but okay, fair enough. Get wrecked. I like these one-on-one battles a lot more. I wonder if it's possible to actually die in that fight, you know? Maybe I should have just stood there and let myself get hit so much. Badass punch. Nice shot. That's cool. You want me to watch a video? Maybe after I finish this quest. Not right now. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. I'm trying to focus on the quest. Sorry about that, Mira. Hours long? I have to watch it in my own time then. Yeah. Some like crying. It sounds like the same voice that she's hearing. It's scared of the dark tide. Nice sound. I like the sound effects on that. The creaking of the bowstrings. Is this a prophecy?
You know.
Badass. how my feelings on the story so far? Well, I have a few questions about what just happened, but I'm guessing they'll be answered in the story. Like, what I just saw, was it a prophecy?
ネバネバしてるし、いくら食っても食い切れないぞ。ダメだ。一気に食いすぎて頭がフラフラする。ちょっと休ませてくれ。
まだ持ちこたえられるか。
I think this is like the second time I've seen them speak in this entire quest. Like Augusta and Yuno. Okay, so now Rover's hearing these voices.
Augusta. オーガスタ。もしもの話だけど、セブンヒルズの運命がとっくに決まっていたとして、それでもあなたは戦い続けるの
？Maybe it was decided that she should fight, so it doesn't really matter.
民のために不可能を成し遂げることにある。ここは危険だ。ヨガ隊を率いて皆を近くの臨時キャンプへ送る。その前に誰一人として取り残さぬよう確認せねば。お主たちは先に行け。言うのを頼む。
大丈夫か？休んでくれ。
気持ちだけもらっておくわ。この程度でへこたれるほど。ここでいいわ。まったく、そんな心配そうな顔しないでよ。大したことじゃないんだから。待って。私に何か聞きたいことがあるんでしょ？
Yeah.
気にせず言ってちょうだい。これくらいの傷、問題ないわ。
Yeah, like what the hell happened? Like seriously, that whole... She fell into the dark tide? Did we see that? Like, we saw... Was that something in the part that we didn't see, like, because she was in the middle of the prophecy? Because I saw her draw her bow, pull the drawstring back, get ready to fire. The the guy came out of the Dark Tide, and then we went into this prophecy, and then once we came out of the prophecy, we already have Rover beating back the Dark Tide. Unless that prophecy is something that we also saw? I don't remember seeing any... I'm just going to say this one. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think we saw any of those three things there.
そこまで見たの?
Yeah, the thing that we saw is the stuff that she saw, and those three options there were something that Rover saw separately.
驚かされてばかりね。まあそんなことができるのはあなただけでしょ。リリベルのおばあちゃんから聞いたの。ああ、テトラゴン神殿にいたサトシの女の長のことよ。あなたの運命は人知の及ばぬ空白らしいわ。空白の意味を完全には理解できてないけど、少なくとも特別な存在だとは認めるしかない。
What were those visions?
あれはかつて私が聖火の炎の中で垣間見たセブンヒルズの運命よ。
That's a good image.
あなたが見た通り、黒潮はセブンヒルズに滅びを、オーガスタに死をもたらす。ラグーナ人の予言が本当かどうかは知らないけど、運命は私に悲劇しか示してくれなかった。悔しいけど、今は認めざるを得ない。黒潮は本当に恐ろしい存在だわ。幻を見せたり、嘘をついたりするだけじゃない。私たちが目を背けてきた心の弱い部分を目ざとく見つけてくる。
And if the fate you've glimpsed turns out to be false?
ありえないわ。私の予言が外れたことはないもの。だからこそ無力な自分が嫌い。全てを知っているのに何もできないなんて。ここまで話したついでに秘密を一つ教えてあげるわ。
Okay.
今の私には運命の流れが見えない。私は運命を覗き見る能力と引き換えに黒潮に対抗する共鳴能力を手に入れた。他でもない運命の手先になり、高みから物言う存在に操られるのが嫌だったからよ。
I have questions like how I give up my ability to peer into fate in exchange for the resonance power to resist the dark tide. Why? Because how though? How do you make that trade? Hachiman, welcome in. Like, this is something I really... This is stuff that I always get annoyed by in Wuthering Waves. Like, just like how? You will know? Like, that's... No. I'm gonna... I don't know how it explains it later on, but this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Like, back in the Full Over quest, right? Where, well, no. Back in the Lupa quest, sorry. Where Rover is given Cristoforo's book. And that book has all the powers that Cristoforo would feasibly have in, like, all that sort of thing. As far as I understand it, like, resonance and the forte and such, is like, the book is used as a conduit for his resonance ability. the book itself doesn't actually have any latent ability inside of it that can be used independently of the original Forte user. Right? So when I watched that part, it's like, yeah, it gave. I said, oh, how did Frolova get the book? I'm like, yeah, and they showed later on like where Frolova was given the book. Like, yeah, that explains how Frolova gets another book. But like, Cristoforo has a book in his hand. At the very same time, Rover also has a book in his hand as well, and they both have the same power. How the hell does the book that Rover has still have latent resonance power? Like what is the lore reason for that? Like, as far as I understand it, resonance Forte ability is intrinsically linked, like connected to the person itself, not imbued into items. And I still haven't had an answer for that question, like lore wise. Like, we've been given the reason, like, oh yeah, that happened. Yeah, you say how, like, but you don't really explain how. It's like, how did that person get here? For some reason. Like, they're supposed to be in another location doing something else. How did they get here? I don't know, reasons. What? No. Like, I'm sure this will get, well, some of this may get explained later. It was like just the idea of like you can exchange something for resonant power, or resonant power for something. How is that explained? Like, who do you exchange it with? What's the trade on that? You know. It is what it is type of explanation. I fucking hate those.
でも結局どこまで全力を尽くしても運命から逃れることはできなかった。
Cantor was given power, but she gave it away. That was always another question. Like, how do you give power away?
さっきアスポデロスの野で遭遇した黒い人影は黒潮が生み出した存在よ。私たちはあれを
False sovereign.
偽りの神王と呼んでいる。他の造物とは別物。黒潮から散逸した力を吸収して再形成するの。このまま放っておいたらどうなるのかわからない。あれは間違いなく予言にあったセブンヒルズを滅ぼす元凶だと確信してるわ。狩猟が始まる前に私とオーガスタはサングイス狩猟台地を調査して今回の高潮が尋常ではないことを確認したの。
Kia ora, welcome in.
そこで私たちは神王の性質を利用しようと考えた。コロサウルスを餌に完全な実体化を遂げる前に誘い出す計画を。
Oh, okay, so
セブンヒルズの悲劇を書き換えられるかもしれない。
I thought like the false sovereign was the Kurosawa, just like remorphed by the dark tide, but that's not what it was. They used the Kurosawa as the prey.
私たちは失敗した。
As like the bait, should I say?
今の私にはもうわからない。これまで予言は正しかった。だから私たちに訪れる死の運命も避けられないのかもしれない。でもオーガスタなら、あのバカはこれまで通り最後まで戦い続けるでしょうね。ただ一つだけ気になることがあるわ。なぜかわからないけど、さっき黒潮が見せた運命は私が記憶しているものと少し違う気がする。どこが違うのかしら。
Your arm.
共鳴能力の副作用よ。多くの場合、黒潮は安定した形では現れない。けど私の共鳴能力を使えば、自分の存在と引き換えに黒潮の造物を顕現させることができるの。要するに等価交換ね。
My powers manifest its creations in exchange for a teensy piece of my existence. That's the price I pay, I suppose. What?
完全に理解する必要はないわ。この副作用は睡眠によって緩和できる。だから大丈夫よ。
Yeah, understand this will take time.
私が元気になったらこの程度の謎あっさり解けるわ。そうだ、これあなたにあげる。共鳴能力の一部を封じ込めることができる月のブレスレットよ。私がサトシの女になった時、先輩から受け継いだの。とても貴重なものだから、ちゃんとしまっておきなさい。代わりはないんだから。私がいない時はこれを頼りにして。もしかしたらあなたとオーガスタの助けになるかもしれないわ。
Thank you, Luno.
何よ、やけに素直ね。
Conduits or batteries?
というか、そんなに長く寝るつもりはないわよ。二人して私を置いていったら許さないから。
オーガスタたちの様子を見に行こう。
Yeah, they do it a lot now. They didn't do that, and it's never really been explained. Like, oh yeah, it just does. I'm like, all right.
これまでのいかなる危機も凌駕します。セブンヒルズのために権力争いは一度置いておくとしましょう。マネスの底を4度踏破したことですか？今は昔話をしている場合ではないかもしれませんが、閣下のご要望とあらば、あれは4年前の高潮です。我々は荒れ狂う黒潮によって第一仮想の朝食地まで追い詰められました。かつて3人の英雄王がマネスの底を征服しましたが、私は彼らの真似をするつもりなどなかったのです。しかし黒潮の封鎖を突破するためには危険を冒してでも部隊を率いて地下に埋もれた前代文明の遺跡に挑まなければなりませんでした。運が味方したと言うべきでしょうか。あの窮地で私たちは困難の中に活路を見出したのです。運命とは無常なもの。今も狩り場に残っているのは私だけとなりました。当時仲間の多くが黒潮の侵食を受けましたので、マネスの底に自生し黒潮に対して天然の耐性を持つ特殊な植物メソナによってかろうじて意志の腐敗を耐え抜いたのです。それでも仲間の多くは今もなお病に苛まれ、グラディエーターとしての生涯を早くに終えることになりました。この貴重なオークリーフの勲章は危機を乗り越えた私に前総督がくださった褒章です。あれは輝かしくも痛ましい勝利でした。是が非でも仲間の苦痛を取り除きたかったのですが。
分かった。
公平な戦いを怪我しちゃいけねえ。
I don't have that unlocked yet, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Yeah, please, Luna, if you could. Yeah, please post it in Discord. In like WuWa images or something like that.
本陣だけでなく本島各区にも通知済みです。指示通り防御措置も抜かりなく。
ご苦労。何かあればまたすぐに知らせよ。
了解しました。
ひとまず指示は下した。最悪の事態を想定して戦闘準備をせねば。それとブラックショアに連絡を取っている。総督府は以前リナシータ一帯で活動するブラックショアの協力者を手に入れた。双方合意のもと狩猟期間中。
Oh, they're just going to access the Resonance Nexus. They're not actually going to come to Rinasita. Alright, cool.
黒潮のデータの監視や収集の許可を与えている。もし狩猟計画に不測の事態が発生した場合、ブラックショアはセブンヒルズに技術支援を提供する約束だ。
リナシータ一帯で活動する協力者。
ああ、名はボクレー。よく印象に残っている。
Bokure. Her name, Bulling's name in Japanese is Bokure.
なるほど。あの子か。オーガスタ、ブラックショアの方は俺に任せてくれ。彼らとは多少の付き合いがある。話もスムーズに進むはずだ。
Dude, you're the leader of the Black Shores. What are you talking about? The fuck?
状況は大体分かったよ。はあ、どうしてまた面倒ごとに巻き込まれちゃったんだか。困ったね、ボス。
Sembongi-sai? I have no idea.
中枢から送られてくるデータが最近どうもおかしいの。サングイス狩猟大地の黒潮、なんか変だよ。今までこんなに邪悪な気配はしなかった。もともとセブンヒルズの黒潮は高潮期に少し騒がしい程度だったのにさ、何かに取りつかれたのか、いきなり人の形になってるし。はあ、ボスたちのためにテティスシステムの報告を整理するよ。神王って呼ばれてる人の形をした邪悪な存在が狂ったように周波数を飲み込んでる。黒潮の造物、残像、音害、エナジーを持ってるものなら全部対象みたい。もしかしたら他にも狙いがあるのかもしれないね。でもセブンヒルズやラグーナに直接手を出す様子は今のところないよ。多分まずは力を蓄えて、それから一気にうがちのくさびを支配するつもりじゃないかな。もしうがちのくさびが効力を失ったら、大地の下に封じられていた黒潮が一気に吹き出してくるはず。
Explode like a pimple. What an example that is.
人たちは三面六臂の力を得たって逃げられないだろうね。
Gross. Mention Augusta and Yuna's plan.
風は水面を渡り、雷は三千にて轟くか。さすがの一手だね、ボス。
Cutting through the clutter. See what you're
う
doing.
ちの予想だと、あのコロサウルスは大物を釣り上げるための餌じゃないかな。ボスたちの狙いは先手を取って神王が力をつける前に叩き潰すこと。そうでしょ。
貴様の言う通りだ。
貴様。Alright.
天地交代、大吉の毛が出てる。多分ボスの計画に大きな狂いは起きないと思うよ。でも順調すぎるとかえって反動があるかもしれない。極まれば必ず展示、干渉を受ける。あ、テティスシステムの方でも狩りの途中に妙な周波数を捉えてるよ。これはイレギュラーな周波数だね。神王が天命の定めよりも早く形を成したせいで、安定していた状況をめちゃくちゃにしたんだ。
This is very much tell, no show. Or is it just me?
もう一回占ってみないと。今は気の流れが乱れちゃってはっきり見えないんだ。おそらく誰かが意図的に天気を隠してる。
とにかく我々は事態が制御不能になる前に神王を見つけ出し、 さらなる周波数の融合を阻止しなければなら
It
ない。
depends on what they're telling.
この目標は一貫している。
その通りだね。神王がどんなにすごい力を持っていたとしても、テティスシステムの目からは逃れられないし、あれは今周波数が最も集中している場所にいるみたい。サングイス狩猟台地の東の方かな。気の流れが重苦しいね。昔何か大きな事件があったんだと思う。すごい人が何人も犠牲になったとか。
上ごとの町。
Right, so everything we've done with bullying right now is just tell her what we've just spoke about, and then she's going through everything that we already know, like how the false sovereign is like eating everything else. We already know that the dark tide is eating everything, and that it's going to explode. We knew that it's going to like do that. What new information has she given us? I'm being serious. Like, what new information has this conversation with bullying actually given us? We got that. Yeah. Okay. But then I guess smooth saying is nothing there. Okay, got new strange frequency. All right. So then suddenly okay, that what is the point of this conversation? I'm like, sorry, am I missing something? It's going and that was the plan before this conversation. She basically said that it is growing, so kill it before it recovers. That was the plan before this entire thing. Like, we know that. That's what we're gonna do. Like, what?
You
can't. Okay. She reports that the Tether system has detected false sovereign Ripley consuming nearby frequencies and growing stronger. Left and check, it could turn the Earth red and trigger cut. We were gonna do that anyway. What was the point of that conversation? Like, I know what was being said, but it's all stuff we already either we'd already gone through or that we were already going to do in the first place. Trying to make bullying useful, I guess? Yeah, I think that's the only reason why that scene was there.
どうか私にも同行させてください。ぶしつけな願いとは承知しています。
So I'm not the only one thinking that that was just a completely pointless conversation, right?
セブンヒルズの選手としてただただ力になりたいのです。
You want to pass characters?
我
Shut
々は
up.
皆セブンヒルズの栄光を守るために団結しています。危険ゆえ強制はできません。ですがこの場にいる者はこれまで数々の栄誉を賜ってきました。
It was pointless? Alright, so it's not just me then. I thought maybe I was stupid and was missing something. Which is possible, very probable, but maybe not this time.
まだ若い。よく言ってくれた。セブンヒルズのグラディエーターは挑戦を恐れん。大空をかける誇り高き猛禽が
Mongol
嵐を前にして
donation and it
鳥
happens.
のように英雄の翼におとなしく甘えていられるか。総督、我らも共に戦います。
覚悟を持って
Sorry,
セブンヒルズに誓った
that section
忠
just
誠心。
kind of
実に素晴らしい。
the
世だけで
pacing
な
is
く
pretty.
カンピドーノの丘に眠る英霊も その勇姿
Because
を
there are
誇りに
people who
思っ
get
ている
clues
だ
without storytelling you. What, you mean like high
戦い
schoolers?
を望む諸君らの熱意
That need
無限
Paimon?
には住まい 世も
Maybe we should
相
have
応の
got
覚
Abby
悟
in there
で
to
答えよう
explain shit.
来るのだ剣を取れセブンヒルズのためにそして永遠に朽ちぬ英雄の名のために
Yeah, gotta think about the high schoolers, guys. How are they gonna understand? Fabianum. Fabianum. Do I recognize that name? Fabianum. I don't think I recognize that name.
仮想の朝食地にあるしかし16年前黒潮の侵食を受けて以来
16 years ago.
行くぞ皇天の使いに送ってもらおう
ChatGPT, please summarize this
アン
plot
カ
for
ー
me.
ストーンを
Yeah.
準備せよ上ごとの町に防衛線を築くのだ
はっ仰せのままに
They seem to be working quite well together now, like Avidius and Augusta. How old is Augusta? I'm pretty sure she was around like 6, 7, or 8 o'clock when her town was attacked last time, and that was 16 years ago, so I'm guessing she's around 20, at the very least 22, 23. Destiny's more of an MMO thing, so I don't know about gachas per se. It's more like just loot boxing. Not exactly. Loot boxing and gacha are different.
まさかこのような状況で4年が経過してから訪れることになるとは。
はあ、どうしてこんなありさまに。
この場所は16年前に黒潮の直撃を受けた。いくらか残っているだけでもマシだ。
つまりもし我々が黒潮を止められなければセブンヒルズの街もこうなると。
これは
恐ろしいな。
どうすりゃいいんだ。
戦士たちよ恐怖に足をすくわれてはならん我らの背後にはセブンヒルズの輝かしい栄光がある16年前の惨劇を二度と繰り返すものか
Sorry, it's like almost 12:30 in the morning for me right now. That's why I'm yawning. I'm not yawning because of the story. I'm just yawning because I've been up since 5:30 this morning. So what's the plan of action? That's the reason why. I want to get through the end of this.
だが、奴の位置と状態が把握できるまで、軽率に行動するのは賢明ではない。
I'm old? Yes.
総督、私は命令通り、もちろんこれは私自身の希望でもありますが、仲間を率いて上ごとの町の周囲にアンカーストーンを設置します。少なくとも上ごとの町の外は一時的な安
My
全
sleep
を
schedule
確
is
保でき
completely
るでしょう。
fucked. Don't worry about it.
そうだ。さすれば、新王の行動も上ごとの町の中に限定されるはず。任せたぞ、アビディウス。漂白者、新王の追跡は世たちで行おう。しかし、時間が限られている。別行動になる可能性も考えておくのだ。ここに残る皆は、常に侵食された像を警戒せよ。彫像と似た外見に惑わされてはならぬ。特に心を腐らせる歌声には注意が必要だ。勇敢なグラディエーター、あるいは善良なセブンヒルズの民。
Hollow figures.
彼らはもともと我々の仲間だった。黒潮は罪なき者たちの心を蝕むだけでなく、その亡骸を自らの手先へ堕落させた。亡くなってもなお、なぜ苦しみ続けなくてはならんのだ。世が保証しよう。
Roughly how long is left of this quest, just out of curiosity?
必ずや代償を支払わせる。
Where most of it don't understand it.
世は仮想を捜索する。脅迫者、上層はお主に任せた。神王の動きを確認。あるいは不測の事態に陥った場合、直ちに知らせよ。
妙に静かだ。
Maybe an hour if you speed up a bit. Oof.
僕らそっちで神王の居場所を特定できるか？
Hour and a half? Fuck.
了解。ちょっと調べてみるね。ごめんね、ボス。そのあたりの周波数がぐちゃぐちゃで、うちにもはっきり見えないんだ。
Yeah, I don't get the constant gooning every 10 seconds either.
神王のやつ、ずる賢いね。いろんな周波数を飲み込んでるから。
Like every now and then, absolutely.
システムが記録した周波数のサンプルが役に立たないよ。これは厄介だね。あいつ全力で隠れてる。見つけ出すのは骨が折れそう。ねえボス、純粋な黒潮の周波数って
I'd read this as a manhwa.
テティスシステムで両者の周波数を解析して類似のスペクトルを探せば尻尾をつかめるかも。
ありがとう。ひとまずやってみるよ。アブ、起きてくれ。
どうしたんだ？もう少し寝かせてくれ。さっき食べた真っ黒いやつがまだ消化できてないんだ。
そっか。賢くて勇敢でかっこよくて心優しいアブに頼みがあったんだけど。
おいおい、そんなに褒められると照れるじゃないか。何でも言ってみろ。
簡単に言うと、前に戦ったあの黒い怪物を探してる。奴の居場所を見つける方法はあるか？
それくらい朝飯前だ。我の鼻はすごく効くからな。
Mongol and Blitz saying exactly this opposite things at the same time. It's quite funny.
どうだ？
なんかいろんな匂いがごちゃごちゃしてるぞ。やつの匂いはちょっとしか感じられないな。あっちだ。
道しるべの像か。セブンヒルズの街で見たことがある。遠方から来た旅人のために方向を示す存在だな。
早く早く行ってみるぞ。
ここか？
Sorry, one second. I'm just.
そうそう、ここだ。
この像は右腕が欠けている。つまり元はあっちを指していたのか？
お前が言うようにこれが道しるべなら多分そうだな。おい、何かが去っていったぞ。あ、またあのぼんやりした匂いだ。追いかけてみよう。
Right. I've got to say. I'm sound like a broken record, and I'm sorry, but I need to point it out every time, because if I don't point it out, people don't fucking notice this shit. What the fuck did Abby bring to that conversation? What did they bring to that conversation? What was the did nothing. Sniffing, cool. Like, we found a statue that we would have found anyway just by looking around. Oh, there's no notifications on Twitch? I didn't see it. I'm so sorry. 1 second. I don't see on that. I do apologize. But like, back to this conversation. Rover was detecting stuff pretty fine for the last few patches. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just pointing this out. I need someone to answer the question. What has Abby done that's actually moved the fucking story forward that we could not have done without the existence that is Abby for like the entirety of like, I'm going to say since January at the very least. And even then you like kind of sketchy. That entire fucking conversation was literally Paimon. We saw something. We saw something. Oh look! Let's follow it. Thanks, Paimon. Jesus fucking Christ! And every time I say this, every time I point it out, people are like, "Oh look, Unk's crashing out again." Like, fucking hell, you absolute morons. People don't like me making the comparison that Abby is not that different from Paimon, but like, show me where I'm wrong. Show me where I'm wrong. Like, straight up. Paimon speaks more than Rover, because Traveler doesn't speak much, if at all, in Genshin, which is their fucking thing. But if Traveler did speak in Genshin, they'd be literally the fucking same. Paimon is rude. Abby's not much different. It's coming out to like 12:33 a.m. for me right now. Should I pick this up tomorrow? Should I just take a break here? Cause I'm getting kind of annoyed. I don't want to continue playing this while I'm annoyed. Yeah. We'll leave it here, and we'll pick it up tomorrow, right? And tomorrow, depending on how quickly I get through it. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do this. Tomorrow, we'll finish it. And then I'll do that thing that I said that we can do earlier, where we watch like the original CBT 1 version of Wuthering Waves, like the original version, the game that Kuro Games wanted to make. CBT 1, yeah. Does that sound good to you guys? I do apologize. I really wanted to do this all in one sitting. To be fair, I spent a bit too long on the JP drama side of things and the interview. The interview was a lot longer than I thought it would be, but still, even then. Right, I'm gonna bounce, and I'll be back tomorrow. What time tomorrow? Same time tomorrow, 9 p.m. JST. I don't know what that is in your time zones, but 9 p.m. JST tomorrow, and we'll continue with the rest of this, and we'll watch the CBT 1 version of Wuthering Waves, and we'll critique it. Critique it. Like, what's good, what's bad. Because you guys know I will not just outright glaze things for the sake of glazing. I will point out the stuff I don't like. It's just in my nature. I can't lie to save my life. I'm like a terrible liar. I'm like the worst fucking actor ever. I can't act to save my life. That extends onto lying as well. So, yeah. Don't dream about bullying and Abby monologues. Ugh. I mean, I do think that those parts did actually put me over the edge to make me really want to go to sleep. But, yeah. It's been good. It's been real. I will see you all next time. All right. Take care. Peace.